he does, but he hasn't had one for years.
Right.
So we're here, we're good, we're live, are we live?
On?
Is it time for the Champagne Podcast?
I don't know, you guys listening? You guys hear us? We're there?
Hey, welcome to the MMA Heat Podcast. I'm Karyn Bryant.
What's up, guys? I'm Jouban. I've been waiting for this moment for quite a while. To rejoice.
Yes, absolutely. So it's the Champagne Podcast now. Obviously, we know that Alan won his fight against Ben Saunders at UFC Orlando, but last week we were both still on the road, so we didn't get to do the proper celebration. So we're doing it now, so we'll talk about that, and also UFC 222. But it's also Wade's birthday tomorrow, so I bought 2 bottles. And the thing is, I was joking, Alan, that you should have bought because you got fight of the night, but it's all right. We'll take the hit.
Is there a sale going on? I'm still pretty
I know.
cheap with my money here.
It's thrifty is the word. So let's pop that. Let's get this going.
I need to pop this because I was getting worried that
it was going to.
It might just.
Is it going to go? All right. Whoa. Started popping. Okay, here we go.
I'll show you the silent part.
Oh, hey, there we go. Nice. All right.
All right. Get the champagne flowing.
And we should definitely say too. Here, whoa. Here you go, Wade.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Conversation.
Oh, ladies first. Okay, geez. All right. Thanks.
We will cheers it.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to jump in on this toast. So
I know.
There we are.
All right.
This is live TV.
I know. Cheers. Congratulations.
Cheers, guys.
Great
Thank you
job.
so much, and happy birthday, man.
So obviously, you know, like the old school ways, we should, and you know, in all seriousness, tip a little out for Ben too, because I feel like that was the hardest thing, not only for a lot, for you certainly, but for a lot of us. Like, celebrating your victory meant celebrating that Ben lost, and Ben is a guy that in almost any other situation, he's the dude I'm rooting for. You know what I mean? So that was hard. Want to show a lot of respect to him. He's a great guy.
I like that you said that. It reminded me because I wanted to toast him. And because not only did, you know, he's a buddy of mine, and that we had to fight each other, and one of us has to win, one of us has to lose, but it takes 2 to tango, and if Ben wouldn't have been so damn tough and just pushing forward and trying to back me up against the cage and take me out, we wouldn't have got the bonus, you know? If one of us would have got dropped early in the fight, then it would have just been like, damn, somebody won, somebody lost. But instead, we had a memorable fight. Ben's not injured. I'm injured. I got a broken foot, but neither of us are like bad off, and we got paid for it. So it was fun to text him afterwards. And be like, dude, congratulations. He was pumped. He was in good spirits. 50 G's always kind of brings you. Yes. So it was nice to share that with him.
And I love that you guys both had pictures from Disneyland the next day.
Yeah, he was there
like
too. I know. But I was on a cart. I was at Disneyland. I couldn't walk. I didn't know my foot was broken at the time. So I had to rent one of those little carts for 50 bucks. But it was a blessing in disguise because Cage rode on it with me the whole day, and we got like pretty much front of the line everywhere. Every time there was like a handicap entrance, we were able to do that. So it was good. I kind of saved my feet in that sense. But let me tell you real quick. I went and I picked out Top Shop is where I do a lot of my shopping.
Oh, you do? You do Top Shop?
Top Shop's dope. In the Grove?
Yeah, no, they got some good stuff. I go in there, but I look for stuff for Wade, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I know, because I'm like, I don't know if he's wearing that.
I'm an extra large at Top Shop. I don't fit anything. It's for the skinny man.
Totally.
But everything's really nice
it's
stuff.
Cool, yeah, they have cool stuff. But
cool stuff. And it's not too expensive. But anyway, I got me some dress shoes from Top Shop. Put together a whole nice outfit, and because our friend
Joseph, yeah, the Dapper Scrapper,
Dapper Scrapper is picking up momentum. By the way, check him out, Joe Benavidez. His Instagram, he kind of does a thing called the Dapper Scrapper, where he's showing fighters' fashion during fights, and the UFC's been reposting it. It's cool. So anyway, they caught me. And I was like, man, I had my Reebok tennis shoes on because I couldn't even fit into my dress shoes that I bought from Top Shop. I wanted to put my outfit together, get on the Dapper Scrapper. My foot was so swollen I could barely fit in my Reeboks. But anyway, that's what made it. But the
shirt you were wearing was nice.
The shirt was nice. I was rolling around. I saw Karyn in the back. We did a little celebration.
Yeah, we did. So it's so interesting because the whole lead up to the fight, like it was a blessing that I was there working the desk. Like I really liked being able to hype up your fight and kind of give people as much insight as I could on that, but also then it's incredibly nerve-wracking, like incredibly nerve-wracking. So I think I even said on the broadcast, hey folks, something, usually we're up here and we're objective. I can't be today. I was like, my podcast partner is fighting, and between
you having emotions for me, and then between Dominic having emotions for...
Oh my God, Jeremy Stevens. Yeah, he was going crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy kind of thing going on.
It was.
And then the DC back and forth with you two, it was funny at the end of the night.
It was. Well, and Mike was rooting for you too. I mean, because you went down and helped Michael when you were when he was getting ready for GSP. So I know he had a lot invested in that too. But yeah, so it was great. But at the same time, very, very nerve-wracking, right? Yeah. And luckily you were on early enough that, like, I could recover and power down. Because it sucks, like, when your friend is the main or co-main event and, like, you have to go on right after.
Your emotions ride high with them. Yeah.
Exactly. So people were laughing at me as I was watching the fight because I was kind of bugging out a little. I can't, it's not the kind of fight you can sit there and sit still for. But again, it was like, I wanted you both to get out of there okay. I wanted you both to have a great performance, and that was it. But I have to say, if I'm being 100% honest, all of the things leading up to it, the fact that it was your anniversary, the fact that it was going to be the first time Cage was there, the fact that, you were coming off a couple of losses and you needed it, like, there was a little bit of worry to me that there was so much writing on this, right? That it was so important. Yeah. That I was like, God, I can't, I just...
Was it going to...
I just don't want it, I just don't want anything to go wrong. But at the end, like, literally you're walking in the tunnel, I was like, where's the movie credits, man? Yeah. Roll credits. He's got his baby, he's got his beautiful wife, like, roll credits, man.
That's what
so it was really great.
It felt like that. And, like, I kept doing interview after interview, and people were like, what? You seem different tonight. And I kept bringing it back to the whole Cage family thing, and I didn't want to make it like this... sad thing, or I didn't want to keep re-saying the same thing, but it's all I could think about. True, right? I always get in the octagon and I try to make myself at home. I kind of run around, do this and that. Then I look to my coaches because that's your only, the closest thing, literally the closest thing to you there. And then they're the person that you're connected with the first. That makes you feel not alone inside of that octagon.
Right. And they reassure you, you're ready, Alan. You did this, you're ready, let's do this.
They're saying little things. And normally, Julio, my coach, knows. He's like, do this for your son, do this for Cage. He knows it kind of triggers something.
Yeah.
So they're normally my support group inside the octagon. But to be able to look and see my family sitting there for the first time and see Cage, he was like,
was he fired up? Yeah, like, what was he doing?
I wish I could have seen it, but Nicole and them said he was saying, like, smart stuff. He was like, elbow,
stick and move,
drop the knee.
I love the little man. He's so tiny, and that's
and she said that he was surrounded by obviously Orlando people rooting for Ben, and they were all yelling like to kick my ass. And then Cage started yelling, elbow daddy, or clinch, or this, or left kick. He was even saying liver shot. And everybody was like, damn, he kind of knows his shit.
We taught her a liver shot too. Yeah. We wanted her to throw it during her basketball game.
He said he quieted down the crowd because
they're like, wait a minute, damn, little man knows what's up.
A liver shot would be a good idea right now.
It's a good call.
But yeah, to see him, I literally was doing this. I would look at Ben, and Ben would be doing his thing, getting his momentum. And like, he would be taking the energy, and so I would look at Cage, and I would get the energy back, and I kept going back and forth. And I was like, as soon as I looked at Cage, the bell rang, I was like, all right, let's go.
See, and
that nervousness was gone. It was just like I went into kill mode.
Because if you say, a lot of time you fighters say like, oh, I fight for my family and I fight. That might be the motivation, like obviously every day for you. Yeah. But that's something that you have to channel in your own brain if they're not there, right? So yeah, to be able to see them right there, just reinforce that so quickly, right?
Yeah, because when they're not there, it's you and somebody else in the octagon. You're just thinking, don't let me get my ass kicked. Although family might be deep rooted in your mind, at the moment you're just thinking of whatever you can think of to self-motivate. But I told him, I was like, dude, I might have to fly you to every single flight now. So he might be, he might be on the schedule from now on, come to the fights.
Well, and it was also the first time that my mom had ever gone to a fight, and so my brother was there as well.
Fight, not even.
No, my brother was there before. He was. I brought him to Kimbo Gate when Kimbo and Seth fought, because that was also down in that was also in Florida. So I was working that show at the time, so he was able to go to that one. But this is the first time my mom got to go to a fight. So she's watching now probably, hey ma, and so she's been to different things like UFC open workouts and stuff like that, but she's never actually been to the fight. So she was very invested in this one too. Obviously, she wants you to win and everything. So it was perfect that she was able to be there too, and they had good seats and everybody. I know they were. My mom said she was screaming and everything too, because
she didn't even know what.
She was screaming. And so it all worked out so well. Really, just psyched for you. And the question for you here is, like, I know a lot of times people are like, oh my God, do you feel that was your best performance and blah 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 blah. But I felt like, and maybe it's just because the last fights were quicker and like how Gunnar got you down fast and like that you didn't get to show everything, right? But you, to I think a lot of people, you seem like a radically new, improved fighter in there. So how much of that stuff that we saw against Ben was new, and how much of it was what you've always had, but you just didn't get to get off in the last couple fights?
No, it's exactly right. I think it was a little bit of both, to be honest, because you said it. Last year, I only fought twice, so an entire year of me progressing in the gym didn't really get to get displayed because, as you said, Gunnar took me down the first round, and then Nico took me out very early in the first round. So I didn't get to show anything, really. Once the fight settles, I feel very comfortable. But it's always that nervous energy that I was getting caught with by those two fighters. So this fight, not only did I get to show stuff that I didn't get to show all of 2017, but this is the first time I fought a southpaw opponent as a professional. So I trained specifically. I brought in a lot of southpaw guys. The pad holding obviously is different. The angles that you're kicking and everything is different. So I became a better fighter learning how to fight a southpaw opponent. Ben came out and fought orthodox. Threw me for a loop. Right. But the training for southpaw on southpaw made me a better southpaw on orthodox fighter.
It does make sense.
It just did. It just made me kind of like clean up my... It's almost like training... I don't know if this makes sense, but it's almost like training no gi, and then you go and train gi for a little while. You're polishing up some certain things you don't normally use, and even though you don't have grips in jiu-jitsu and no gi, training the gi is going to make you better. I got a little carried away. Maybe
no. I know what you're saying, because all of a sudden too, like let's say I switched and started playing tennis left-handed. I actually am a lefty and whatever, but I would focus on fundamentals. There would be a lot more that would probably fundamentally more sound. Yes. Because I'm paying more attention.
You couldn't rely on your strong side athleticism. Right. Now you have to do complete technique or things like that. It was the same thing with me. It just made me better. And the one thing that I noticed during the fight is Ben probably took care. I wish I didn't get to, after the fight, I wanted to have a beer with Ben, hang out and talk strategies and what were they planning on. Right. Ben, I think, went to the hospital, so we never got to have this conversation, but I wish we would have, because I felt in the fight that he was giving me his lead leg. He wanted me to go my lead kick against his lead leg, setting up his lead right hand to drop me, because that's what Nico Price did to me. That's what a couple of guys have caught me with. Nico Price is the only one that
so it's like a rope-a-dope. Like, try to pay attention to this down here while I do this other thing.
And I felt like that's why he came on orthodox. He was banking on that lead leg kick so he can counter. And I remember sensing it right away, thinking,
not today. Not today.
It was all left side, inside leg power kicks. I maybe threw one outside kick, and I got out real soon. But yeah, it was, if for some reason, to answer your question, it was a little bit of not showing what I had and a little bit of just getting better this camp and being able to finally capitalize on it by being in the right mindset.
And also, I would think, wait, how you doing over there? He could get a little touch up over there. Okay, is that, and not to say that you don't do this every fight, right? But there is something to be said about having your back against the wall where you're like, screw it, I gotta go for broke, right? Like, I gotta go for it.
And anybody with the back against the wall is dangerous. And I felt like it. I don't know if I got asked the question a lot during fight week. Do you think like the possibility of getting cut is out there? You know, your back's against the wall. And I was like, I can't even think about being cut. I plan to finish my career in the UFC. But it definitely does feel like my back was against the wall. For sure. Not only about possibly getting cut, but just to go 3 losses in a row, just to, as we talked about before the show, we were talking about sponsorships, everything, the momentum that carries from winning is a lot of stuff that I needed. And this is my first fight with a new manager, new management. I wanted to go and make a successful transition with my new management and everything. So it probably had something to do with it, though. I couldn't imagine if I'd have lost that fight. Let me think worst case scenario. This is what real sad. I lose the fight. I get knocked out. I get cut from the UFC. I'm 36 years old. What the hell would have I done? I mean, hopefully the MMA Heat podcast is blowing
that's
up.
what I'm saying. I know.
Hopefully you guys are watching.
Hey, actually, we are going to maybe take this to Pluto TV, but that's another story. But we'll keep it going. But no, and that's the thing, though, is like you actually are better positioned than others. At least you have other things going on. But you're right. That would have been a really, 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 really bad situation. A really bad situation. Of course, we had some questions there already.
We do. I just
No, we get no. But of course, everybody wants to know the last 2 things about, well, maybe not the last 2 things. Obviously, they have more questions too. But how quickly can you go back to full training, and then how quickly could you fight? Yeah. So
as far as I still have to get an MRI to make sure there's no ligament damage. I don't think so, but it just looks like I have 2 broken bones. If this was my foot, the 5, which is like the pinky, and the 4. the ring finger on your foot, I guess.
Right.
So I broke both of those bones in the fight, and then the pinky, not the toe, but the actual foot part of the bone, I broke in 3 places. So my foot's kind of messed up right now. I'm surprised that I...
No heals for you, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised I kicked it with him, so, you know, I kept kicking him.
But that's adrenaline, right?
That's exactly. And I felt it. Like, my foot hurt, but when I saw that I had 4 breaks in my foot... And that happened in the first round, that I was like, damn, and I kicked him. I mean, the last thing I did was kick him and then punch him.
Right.
But so anyway, with that said, you're looking at probably 8 weeks of recovery, and then 2 months, another 8 weeks of training camp. So more than likely, on the way here, I was looking at the fight cards. You're looking at, end of June, early July, which sets up probably... There's not that many fights in June, but July 7th is
week.
DC,
Stipe,
International Fight Week in Vegas. My next fight, I want it to be in Vegas anyway because I want to travel not too far, tropical climate.
I know, that was good.
I don't know if Vegas is tropical.
It was funny.
Yeah. And then also, I want to utilize the Performance Institute during Fight Week. They have so many things there. It makes the weight cut so easy, the nutrition. They feed the fighters breakfast. We get free breakfast and lunch over there.
Yeah, no, that's the hookup.
It's a great hookup to be fighting in Vegas and have the Performance Institute. So that would make sense because if I can fight in Vegas in July, and then my other goal, I still want to fight 4 times, but my other goal is either Hawaii, whenever that's going to be.
T-City and Ortega, UFC Hawaii. Let's go.
Hopefully you're
God, let's go.
in the arena.
Oh yeah. No, we've already all established that UFC Hawaii. Yeah. We've got the desk on the beach.
Exactly.
We've done so many mock-ups of that at work. Like everybody. Well, I was joking about that, and I told Bisbing, I'm like, yeah, we're all going. Bisbing's gonna get laid, and he was like, I'm married. I'm like, Michael, it's a joke. It's a joke. Lays, you know. And then he was like, oh yeah. I'm like, dude, we're all getting laid. You know?
Everybody's getting laid. Yeah, I want that one, but I also want New York, man. I gotta have Madison Square Garden, which I think I think they always booked a venue.
I think that's
in November.
now exactly November. I think now is a done deal. That's always going to be a return there. So I like all those plans. I think it's great. I will say, lastly, before I get to a question, just so you know, I mean, like, I don't know, I might have had a little help, but like for the last, I would say, week and a half before your fight, every time I saw an 11-11, I was like, please let Alan win his fight.
11-11.
Like, you know how you make a wish every time you see a clock at 11-11? I was like, please let Alan win.
You were my prayer warrior.
So I was the 11-11 prayer warrior. Prayers went up, and the thing about it is, like, you not only did you win, but you got like such style points. People are already saying potential, knockout of the year because the way I mean, obviously we'll get to this too because we'll talk about how Bryant set up his knockout with the elbow too. But it's like the standing, the lead elbows, and everything. Just like everything just looked so good. Like it felt to me that you and Julio just must have really been in tune. I don't know if he was calling out what for you to do or you're just instincts were on point, but everything looks so good.
It was like a video game.
It really was.
Everything they said, and I had a great, we call it a blowout or whatever, but like the day of the fight, you do a small workout just to break a sweat early in the morning or around noon, get your lungs going, get the sweat going again after weight cut, then shower up and recover until the fight day. So we did that in the hotel room. We put on some old Casey and JoJo. Like we put on some just some songs that reminded us of like high school. And we were like cracking up, like hitting the pads, and it was just like a great start to the fight. And the rest of the day carried on that.
Nice. And it was really so cool to see you and Nicole and Cage backstage and everything. And he was so cute, and he's like, Daddy won! You know what I mean? Like, I know, little man. It really was cute. Yeah. I agree. Bring him to every fight. It was nice. It was nice. All right, do we have some questions here?
We do. Long-time listener Joseph Boza.
All right.
Joe.
He said, Jessica Andrade and Tisha Torres tore the roof off. He was really nervous that Alan wasn't going to get fight of the night.
Man,
that's what I do too, man. I sit, once I fight and I have a good performance, we sit in the back in the green room where we're eating, and we're just like, don't be too good. Right. The Mike Perry and Max Griffin was kind of
that was a good fight.
It had some ups and down moments, but
right.
Something about Mike Perry, his energy, his body language, it makes fights exciting because he's trying to hurt people. That danger factor is always there with Mike Perry. So his fight was a good fight, bloody and had everything. So I was worried about that one as well.
Well, it's funny too because I had tweeted out, after your fight, hey, fight of the night, and I said so far. I did use the word so far. Yeah. But some people then later in the day were like, I don't know, wait till because they figured Jeremy and Josh were would have a great fight and stuff, and there was potential for other people. But at the very least, I thought, okay, fight of the night so far. If somebody comes along and is better, but maybe you would get the performance points bonus.
I thought I had two options.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought Sam Alvey might have gotten robbed. He had a big knockout, although it wasn't as dramatic just because his guy came in with his hands down. I don't know what he was thinking. That guy was huge, but he just walked up to Sam with his hands down.
Totally.
Sam clipped him on the chin, knocked him out, and did his thing. But I feel like that might have been I feel like knockouts or fights have to have okay, so Ben, when I knocked out Ben, I didn't even see what happened. The ref pushed me off, and I got all emotional. I went and looked at my family. It wasn't until an hour later in the green room when I saw a replay that Ben was laid out. It was serious.
Yeah, he got crumpled. Yeah.
Yeah, like his leg.
Yeah, and that's what's hard about it.
And so I felt bad for that, but that's the kind of stuff, the aftermath, the way the person falls, the blood, things like that amplify a knockout or a fight of the night. And I feel like that's kind of what tipped the scales for me. It was kind of the way that Ben was laid out. And then I feel like I said, Sam Alvey had a big knockout, but this guy walked in so clumsy looking. Right. It was like I think that's why they ditched him on it.
And yours was it's dramatic the way it ended.
You need things like that, dramatic ending.
But also the fact that and thankfully, I think I even said this to you after. I was like, thanks for not almost getting finished in the first round and coming back, because but there was enough, back and forth in yours that it was very dramatic. And also Ben being a local guy there, the crowd was probably more into your fight. You know what I mean? Than not that the women's fight wasn't great, but there was more emotion. There was a lot more crowd response. There was a lot more oh snap, there was just a lot more.
Because every time Ben would touch me, and he hit me good sometimes, but every time he would touch me, the crowd would go nuts. Right. So that adds an element of and there, and it was it's not like he didn't have his moments, right? So it was great. It was great.
I just want to share. There's a lot of people congratulating you. I just want to share some shout outs. We got Flames of Youth.
Flames of Youth.
We got DeBeef One.
What a name.
DeBeef.
Dan Jensen.
Where's DeBeef?
Thank you for the love, guys.
We got Pruan. P-U-R-U-A-A-N.
All you folks just saying how good you are. That's got to feel good, right?
Congrats.
That's got to feel good. Because I got to say, we see it week in and week out. We know how hard you worked. But that's really great when you know that people you don't even know are sending you so much positivity. And so, that's got to feel great.
It's much better than being over here after a loss doing a champagne podcast.
Eating cookies.
Toasting my loss.
I know, eating cookies and drowning our sorrows.
With everybody saying, hey, you'll get them next time, Alan.
Oh, I know.
I appreciate the love on this one.
I know. Hey,
I hate that.
With the a couple more. Paulo Almeida, Edward Cantu, the A side. Just, because a lot of them are giving Sarah Redwood.
But really, it was. Everybody was just like, damn, Alan's striking looked so sick, bro.
I don't know all
it was really good.
All the interaction.
Really good.
Following, man.
Yep.
Thank y'all for listening. Thank you for the support.
I know.
And then we had a question here. Let me find who it was. Basically, they want to know, all right, Alan, who do you want next?
Who's next? Yeah, that was the whole thing.
Man, during the post-fight conference, I think I mentioned the name Cowboy. But then I said, I followed it up, but Cowboy's just a guy that I think everybody would like to fight because he's such a...
Everybody wants to watch. Cowboy versus whoever, doesn't matter. Everybody wants to watch it.
That's it. You want to watch it. But then I kind of also topped that one off by saying, or I finished that one by saying, you know what? But Cowboy's not really a fight that people might want to see because Cowboy just fought Yancey, which was kind of a lovey-dovey kind of fight because they were so respectful, which I admired. I wasn't against it. But you don't want to see... I just fought Ben, who is my friend. I'm all talking about the respect factor. I don't think fans want to see another friend match between me and Cowboy. Me and Cowboy aren't close, but I've got a lot of respect for him. I'm a fan. I love the stuff he does.
And there's no way he wouldn't like you. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no way that you're right. Exactly.
So I don't want to. I don't know if the fans want to see another okay, let's hug before we punch each other kind of fight. I think for the both of us, me and Cowboy, they might want to see just get back in there and scrap. Yep. So with that said, but somebody called me out, man. And I think that would be a smart fight for me too. He's not the
I know people are talking about Darren Till. People are saying, what about, I know Colby Covington's got, Usman wants Colby, and Colby's trying to get that title shot. But there are some people like... a
guy that's not a big name, but the guy that won the Contender, a black
Tuesday
guy who's really tall. Tuesday Night Contender Series.
Oh, gosh, I'm going to... Oh, Adesanya. Oh, my God, Israel Adesanya?
No.
I'm like, dude. Oh, yeah, because I was going to say he's an 85, but he's a skinny 85.
Hey, I don't want
Style bender.
I don't want none of him.
No, he's dude.
He's dope.
I cannot wait to see him develop.
I like that he could fight and he could talk.
Yep.
He got on the microphone and said, there's a new dog in the yard, and I just pissed all over this cage.
So excited he's here.
I was like, I was dropped the mic. No, he's dope. He's sick.
Totally dope.
There's another guy, though. Anyway, he won the Contender, I think.
Okay.
He ended up... he lost to Bilal Muhammad a couple fights ago, but anyway, I saw during fight week he called me out and said that he feels like it's a good matchup for him against me, and I was like, okay, cool, let's see how my performance goes. And then if he's a guy calling me out and I feel like I do well against tall guys, he's another tall guy. So when I think of his name, I'll share it with you guys.
I hope, you know, not for nothing, but like, I hope they just give you strikers. You know what I mean? Because that's so much more fun. Not to say that you can't defend wrestling, and obviously not to say that you can't go there, but it's so much more fun when they book you with somebody that lets you guys stand and bang, because that's very entertaining.
And I tell them, look, I'm cool with wrestlers, because honestly, wrestlers to me are kind of like, yes, you probably will get taken down against a wrestler, but for me, a guy has to work really hard to take me down, and then I'm very comfortable on my back and jiu-jitsu. I don't see myself really getting submitted by a wrestler, and I feel like I can get up. And it's like once you get up and a wrestler's worked so hard to bring you down, then it's like I always feel like I've got a ton of energy and they look very sapped. So I don't mind wrestlers now and then, but they like to pair me up with strikers.
Yeah, it's more fun. This is way more fun.
This is my 4th fight of the night. Yeah. So it's a good thing to have next to your name. 4 fights of the night, fight of the night bonuses. I feel like they should look at me and be like, okay. And you know what? Another thing, I don't know if I'm proud of this or not, but all but one of my 11 UFC fights, if I lost or won, somebody got a bonus involving me.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
If I lost, every time I lost except for one, somebody got a bonus, or every time I won.
But that's the definition of an exciting fighter. Exactly, and you don't go out and you don't put on boring fights. So So that said, also, folks, you should let UFC and UFC on Fox know that you want Alan back in the studio with us.
Let them know.
Just go, yo.
Just hashtag Zach, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
But I didn't say
At UFC on Fox on Twitter, just
I've
at
been letting
UFC.
them know. I've been emailing them. I want to get back.
Pretty sure you need to get Karyn and Alan up on the deck. Come on.
Take you guys on a journey of the fights. We're going to break it down. We might even drink some champagne on Fox. Get it loose. But yeah, I'm trying to get back on Fox, man.
We gotta make it happen. We gotta make it happen.
How we doing? Any more questions, or should we get things rolling with the fights? All right, so what happened lately? Are we getting in our fights, or are we getting into 222?
Yeah, UFC 222.
Yeah.
Okay, Cyborg gonna Cyborg. We know that. I don't want to dismiss this, but
it wasn't as competitive as
right. And Yana had her moments, but actually, I think she admitted after the fact, like just being a little bit, nervous, and not that she is scared. She's not scared of Cyborg. She's not scared of being in a fight. But that, the nerves, the overwhelming bigness of the moment did sort of
green areas. Exactly. Like when she would get hit and she would give up 75% of her body to defend herself. It was just like, oh, she's not used to. Right.
But she, listen, and she did. She went after Chris. She didn't run away from her. You know what I mean? Took her back and had a couple of moments here. It's just that Chris is so dominant. And Chris really, works harder than anybody. Like I haven't been in the gym with Yana. I haven't been in the gym with Holly. I haven't been in the gym with other of Chris's opponents. The woman is just gifted. She's a special case, and she's already gifted and special, and then she works harder than everybody else. Yeah. So I have to say, I find her incredibly inspiring and great. It really does disgust me how much. Negativity is directed at her as it's a man. Of course she's going to win. That's not a girl. That's a dude. Like, I'm so sick of that. It's so uncool, and it's so unfair. It's not right. I mean, and I can't necessarily sit in my soapbox here and expect all of a sudden for the world to change and for us to have whatever. And it's my kumbaya moment here, but they test her. She gets USADA tested just like everybody else. She's just better. Like, I know people want to find a reason and call her a bunch of names. She's just better, and she's great. And I wish people would give her the respect she deserves.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Karyn. If people are questioning if it's, the whole man thing, whatever, that's just disgusting. But if you're questioning if she's cheating or this or that, if she's in the UFC, she will get caught.
Right.
Even some of my friends were talking about, like a certain percentage of people in the UFC are cheating, this and that, and I kind of kept my mouth shut. But honestly, they test us so much. They show up at my house every other month at 7 in the morning and draw blood from me and make me do a urine test.
They've come here. We've seen it in person.
During this podcast and tested me by surprise. They test us during fight week. They test us a lot, okay? And it's a lot of us, and especially if you are somebody that is a champion, you get tested.
Of course, there's no ways they're not testing her.
I think Anderson Silva got tested like 13 times when he was, fighting Bisping and stuff. So they test people all the time. So I would like to say that if you are in the UFC, I'm not saying that nobody in the UFC is cheating. People are cheating, but they are getting exposed. They are getting caught. These people that you see every other month that say so-and-so just got a violation from USADA, that's who's cheating, and they're getting caught. So to think that that Cyborg is cheating, she's not.
Why would she risk it at this point?
Why would she risk it? She's dominant, and you said she's not only dominant, gifted, hardworking, but she got experience. Look how many fights she has under her belt. You saw the inexperience in her opponent during that fight. Her opponent was better at offense than she was at defense. She wasn't used to an aggressive woman hitting her that hard, and when she got hit that hard, all of a sudden she became very defensive. You can see, okay, she's not used to like these kind of scramble moments or recovery moments, and she got exposed a little bit. Now, I'm not trying to like kick her while she's down. I'm just saying Cyborg is on a whole nother level. This was a young up-and-comer who's got a bright future, but she wasn't quite ready for the furious pace that Cyborg brings in her fight.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And Yana did say she'll probably go back down to 35, which is cool. Yeah, but to your point about defense, and I will say that has always been my one critique of female fighters is that I don't think they play defense enough. Like, I wish, in general, to me... Well,
because some of them are like exciting fight of the nights because they just say, you know what? Right. I don't feel like the power's going to knock me out, so I'll eat the punches. Sometimes
exactly.
Like,
so
happy to eat the punches.
And that's what I was screaming watching Kat and Ketlen Vieira, because I wish Kat played a little more defense, right? It's one thing, it's cool to know, hey, I have a chin and it can get tested and I'm okay with it. And I like when people go in for a blitz. I love Kat's aggression, and I love that she went for it. But I felt like she left herself just too exposed, and I find that is the case. And maybe that's because I don't even know, and I'm not going to get into some psychological thing, but like I feel like a lot of time the women are trying to prove so much. Like the offense. Like I'm a badass. I deserve to be here. I have like that defense sometimes is not focused on as much as I wish it were.
The lioness qualities are coming out. They want to show how tough they are. But I think it's partly that. I think it's partly because at some of the smaller weight classes that the women are in,
maybe they're not afraid of being knocked out, right?
The knockout power, the danger is not quite as there. It still hurts and they're still going to get cut up, but there's not quite a lot of one-punch knockout power girls out there. So they're just like, you know what, I'll eat 2 punches to get the body lock. I don't quite remember Kat's fight round for round, but I got to say this. The one thing that does stand out that I do remember from the fight is thinking, man, Kat looks a little different in this fight. Like she looks a little like herky-jerky, kind of like jumpy. It was something about her training.
She's been gone a long time, so part of it could just be trying to find a rhythm again. Yeah,
she's in San Diego Alliance now. But I agree, the defense, the smoothness in between her footwork and her combinations, it was just kind of a little bit herky-jerky. She seemed a little bit off rhythm.
Yeah, and I, you know, it's funny because she has been gone a long time, you know, but Kat has victories over two champs. She beat Amanda Nunes. She beat H.E.A.T. So it's there, obviously. Right? Yeah, no,
she threw Amanda Nunes around.
Oh, heck yeah.
Too. She was
And I love that Kat doesn't give up. You know, this is a woman who has been through so much outside of, the octagon. Yeah, incredible amount. So I really was pulling for her. I wanted her to have a good showing, and I don't think she had a poor showing. I just think that maybe it was a combination of time off and having to think too much maybe while you're in there, and also the fact that Ketlen Vieira is very good. By the way, Ketlen Vieira, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, that's a big girl. Like, she came out and I was like, oh damn, like look at the shoulder span on this girl.
The weigh-in got me pumped for
But I looked at Ketlen Vieira and I thought, this is a woman who could go to 45 too, I think. Yeah. But this is, you know, she's undefeated now. She is doing everything right. I was talking to my
remind me who won that fight.
Ketlen Vieira.
She beat Kat.
She beat Kat by decision. And so that was the whole thing. And so talking to my friends Anna and Evie, who are obviously real dialed in and all the Brazilian stuff, they were saying that Ketlen, she's been with Nova União. She usually was living in Manaus. Nova União has a new headquarters in Rio, and she was spending more time there, and that way she was getting more help with nutrition and all these things. So everything's just really firing for her right now. This is a woman who is a incredible real threat at 35, and they say it'll likely be Rocky Pennington versus Amanda Nunes for the title shot next. But Ketlen Vieira is making such a great statement. Really exciting to see her in there, and she's a big, powerful girl. Like, I
agree. The first thing I thought when I saw her standing next to Kat, that was she's a big girl.
Yeah,
she's got a big frame on her.
Yeah, that shoulder span, that power, and everything. Yeah. So, but I have to say, Wade might need to go get the other one.
Are we doing
I might be a little ahead of you. Oh, there you go. Kill that one and we'll go get the other. No, I'm good. Wade's been topping me off over here.
Follow two.
One down, guys.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Yeah, no, both of us need to stretch. It's like the 7th inning stretch here. Are you sweating? No. You don't sweat.
It's alcohol.
Is it? Is it?
I my Botox.
Do you Botox your armpits?
I've seen that.
Do you want to know?
It makes you not sweat.
No, I know it does. Let's just say this. It does. And we had a conversation about Botox last night with our daughter while we were watching the Oscars. And let's just say, you can tell, folks, there's no Botox here because my forehead actually moves. Yeah, this is all natural over here. I will say every now and then I'll color my hair, but other than that, I know other than that.
Oh, you're fake.
Oh, I'm so fake. But what you see is what you get. My eyebrows still move. Yeah. My forehead still moves. Dude.
Who?
Dude.
I'm talking about
Brian Mother Crackin' Ortega. Like, wow.
It was...
Dude.
Wow was the only thing I could say, and then I get on social media to type something. Everybody was like, wow. Wow.
Dude. Like I feel like we know because we know Brian, and we here in the SoCal MMA community, like we're closer to the situation, and like we know how dangerous he is, but also how chill he is. Like there's so much to like about Brian Ortega. That said, I did actually think it was a little too much too soon, maybe. Like that Frankie was going to be too experienced.
Frankie's the guy that
too
stops the hype train.
Right, too high volume. You saw what he did to Yair Rodriguez, who was a star in his own right in the making. Yair's going to be a real big deal in a couple years. But as much as I trust in Brian, I did think maybe a little, just Frankie knows how to beat people. Not that it's too much too soon. I take that back. But Frankie knows how to beat people. But holy crap.
He knows, and he's shown it time and time again.
Dude, I did not expect him to win like that.
That's what I was
Nobody's ever beaten Frankie. Nobody's ever finished Frankie Edgar.
Nobody's ever finished him.
Holy
Nobody's ever
crap.
To finish him on the feet with the elbow, the lead elbow, would set it off. My whole dilemma on this fight was like, does Frankie take him down? Because Frankie is the best at mixing the hands with the takedowns. He does it flawlessly. And I'm thinking, but does he want to take that part of his game away? Because then he puts himself at risk. And if I'm breaking down this fight from both guys' point of view, Ortega's got to think, you know what? Let me welcome the takedown. It gives me an open window. Frankie's got to think, you know what? I can nullify his ground game. I'm that good. Frankie is that good.
He is that good.
It still opens up a window. It still opens up a door and opportunity.
T-City.
He's T-City for a reason. That's why I got his name. So, I was thinking, I'm thinking, if I'm breaking this fight down, Frankie's the guy that can nullify him on the ground, possibly, and he's got the experience to make the hype train hit the brakes on most people.
You're not going to show him anything he's never seen.
But is he going to just sit there and outbox the much taller and the Mexican flashy style of Ortega? He's got that little, he'll do the little salsa dance thing in his training.
I know, right?
I feel like he's like, I think of this Mexican fighting style when I see him hit the bag and stuff. But that was the dilemma of the fight. I was like, well, how is Frankie going to approach his fight? And Frankie approached it as, you know what? I don't want anything to do with the ground. As soon as he got inside for a little bit of a takedown, you saw Ortega wrapped up the guillotine. It wasn't locked in, but Frankie felt the squeeze on him. And he immediately aborted. He did the right thing. You either commit, or when you feel it, you abort right away. You don't linger there. He did that. He did the right thing. He aborted. But then from there in his head, he must have been like, you know what? Damn, that was tight very fast. That guy got around my neck very fast, very tight. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm going to outbox him. And Ortega capitalized on a place that we thought he was his weakest. And he knocked out Frankie. A guy's never been knocked out before. It was amazing. Wow, Brian Ortega.
And the fact that it happened early, right? So we always talk about Ortega with all his third-round finishes, the most third-round finishes,
the guy that has to make a comeback.
Exactly. He's down on the cars, and all of a sudden he comes back. The fact that Ortega was able to start doing that early was really something special, and should put people on notice. Like he's a complete package here now, right? So Frankie, I knew, same like you're saying, I figured volume. Even if it was points, even if he didn't finish Brian, points, all the touches in the world, right? Or Frankie never stops. And again, I thought there's nothing that Brian can show Frankie that he hasn't seen, hasn't gotten out of, hasn't been in, Frankie's seen everything. The guy, we talked about it on the pre-fight show and everything. Frankie has the most octagon time. He has over 6 hours, 6.5 hours of octagon time. You cannot
That's
show him
crazy.
anything he's never seen.
Yeah.
But damn it, if Bryant, and I knew he'd have that size advantage and stuff, but like you said, that lead elbow.
I don't ever remember Brian throwing an elbow.
No, not the elbow, but the uppercut I do know, and we were talking about that in the weigh-in show and on the pre-fight, and I said it because that's like, I love uppercuts anyway, but I was just like, man, you see Bryant with that uppercut, and then that ended up being, you know, the thing that set it off. And
that's what it was, right? It was a lead.
It was the lead elbow, and then
big uppercut,
bam,
back,
huge,
and then the ground and pound finish.
Exactly. Okay. So it was just perfect. I mean, it was just perfect. And it's funny because we've worked with Brian over at Fight Pass a lot on UFC now, and it's funny because we didn't see the jiu-jitsu, but he talks about being a sniper jiu-jitsu, right? He's like, listen, there's people that are good. I'm a sniper jiu-jitsu, so if it comes to that, you know, you maybe won't see it coming. And I agree with you that Frankie's wrestling is so good that I feel like he would have been okay. But the truth of the matter is, with Brian Ortega, you got to pick it now. Yeah. Do I want to stand now? Now you really thought now you really have to question where you want to take the fight with him, because you for sure before thought, don't go to the ground. I can beat him standing up, and then he does that, and now you don't know what to do.
It makes it much more tricky for everything to come. And you know, I spoke to Brian before. And about, you know that sound, guys. It's not the doorbell, and if it is the doorbell, it's a beautiful.
I know, right?
Our computer man, Wade.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Wade. Happy birthday tomorrow, Wade.
That would be something he might do, though. He might like program the doorbell.
He would totally.
He could do that just because there was an app for that or something.
I told you, popping bottles and talking with models.
That's it, baby. That's how lucky you guys are. Is that selfish? Did we show that picture already?
Of which
my
one?
50 Gs. Did we show that?
The 50 Gs, the stack?
But we didn't actually talk about it.
Just a reminder, guys. I'm totally getting off a topic.
No. But also, speaking of
the champagne's kicking in.
Speaking of popping models, did we have your? Is it? See, I thought it was pronounced bonobos, but you're saying it's bonobos.
You know what? I don't even know. I'm just.
But a bonobos is a kind of a monkey. But I didn't know if they were changed.
A lot of money there, Alan.
Boom! Look at that stack.
I just want to show you guys the 50 Gs.
You're looking like Floyd Mayweather up in here.
If you know money, then you know that's not really 50 Gs because you can see the colors of the bands. But anyway, I had to do my little. You know what? I was at home and I was like, let me channel my Nate Diaz.
Nice.
And I was like, what would Nate Diaz do right now?
Oh.
I was like, I don't have any joints.
He would light a J off of one of those stacks.
But I should have rolled a joint with the $100.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, I had to get my little video cover shot right there.
Speaking of Nate, that makes me think of Conor. Did you see Conor's Burger King commercial?
The King.
Dude.
This dude's on private.
I cracked up. That commercial's hilarious.
Conor's doing big things, man.
I'm not even mad at him.
When I saw Anderson Silva fight in the octagon and he was sponsored by Nike.
Anderson had that Burger King ad way back when too.
Yeah, though. Anderson. I'm like, Anderson Silva is sponsored by Burger King and Nike. I was like, this, or whoever it was, like, this dude is just making moves.
Right.
Now Conor's on a private jet with the King doing his own commercials and everything.
That commercial's hilarious.
It's pretty good. That came out this morning, right?
Yeah, I can't even, like, dude.
Yeah.
I like Conor anyway. I'm a fan. I think it's hilarious and good for him.
First, he's riding a racing horse naked.
I know the racing horse stuff was funny.
Yeah.
But he's just like, oh, that's spicy, yeah? Good kick, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what, Conor? This one's for you.
Cheers.
I hope you come back and fight soon, but damn it, you're still entertaining.
So speaking of Conor, the one thing that impressed me about this Brian Ortega fight was the amount of respect that other fighters had for Frankie Edgar.
Right.
Who knew? A lot of us knew that we all, as fans and other fighters within the community, respected Frankie Edgar tremendously. But for, you know, seeing Max Holloway come out and be vocal about it, seeing Conor McGregor speak on it, it lets you know that, man, like, Frankie has a following, man.
For sure.
And he's the kind of guy that nobody really has
nobody doesn't like Frankie Edgar.
Nobody has bad words about him. I mean,
there's
nothing bad you can say about the guy. You just respect hard work, and he's all about hard work.
For sure. You all right over there, Rich?
I'm good, yeah. I just had a...
Wait, you okay, man?
When you're doing a live show and you hear, oh, crap, that's a bit of a problem over here.
Just a graphic.
The graphic, oh my God, he's got the champagne graphic. All of a sudden, it's the ring girls. Just put up ring girls in any moment of panic.
Is that what you're looking for?
Just sort of ring girls. But yeah, no, literally, nobody doesn't like Frankie Edgar. And the funny thing is, too, but he's just so chill. He doesn't yap a lot. Like, he's literally the guy that just lets his work speak for himself, and he's, I gotta say, probably like the most respected guy. And Conor, what did you make of this though? Because the way that Conor phrased it, he said, you deserve to have your career deserved for that fight to be against me tonight, or something, which was kind of an interesting phrasing. Like, did he mean, I wish you got a bigger payday or something because like you deserve a red panty night because you're the effing man. Or you know what I mean? Or it was kind of weird though because with Conor having been the 45 champion, then I was like, oh, does he mean he wish he fought Frankie when he was at 40? Like I was a little bit.
I took it as high praise and also a little stroke to Conor's own ego.
Well, yeah.
Obviously he always will embed that in there, but I think he means you fought a tough fight against Bryant Ortega, a rising star, but you got a mediocre payday. You're a guy that deserves the super fights, which is Conor McGregor. So I think that's what he was saying it to. But it impressed me. It's like I got on social media and I praised Bryant Ortega. I was just wow, he's my boy. I got nothing but love for him. I was so excited for him.
So good, yeah.
And then I remember thinking, man, I almost want to write like a sorrow speech for Frankie as well.
Exactly.
I think I added something like, I usually add something, like Frankie will be back or whatever, he's a champion. But I almost wanted to do a separate post for Frankie.
I know.
I had so much respect for him. Everybody likes him. I know you always
the dude is fantastic. And he's so, like, to me, and I said this on one of our shows today, and I say it again, and I mean it in the most positive way. It's not a diss saying little engine, but he's the freaking little engine that could, right? Like, I swear to God.
Description
no, but he's the little engine that could. Like, everything you say this dude shouldn't do, Frankie does it.
He's always a smaller fighter, and
man.
he works harder than everybody, and when you think he might not be able to dig himself out of the hole, he does it every time.
That's the thing.
I was going to say it a while ago. He's like the little...
He's the little engine that could, and I mean that in the highest sense of praise possible. The question is for a lot of people if Frankie should go to 35, because let's be honest, I mean, the man was the 55 champ, but he actually probably could make 35. And I don't know what you think of that, like, because I don't think just because he got knocked out once, the man's never been knocked out in his career. So I'm not trying to say that he's chinny or anything like that. And I'm not trying to say that he isn't still the man
and he
to
wasn't
do whatever.
Laid out. He was
right.
Just,
he got caught. I mean, Brian threw a perfect punch. But a lot of people are saying, oh, maybe Frankie should try 35. And I'm curious where you think he should go. Like, what you would do if you're Frankie.
That question is always going to come about after a loss, after a dominant fighter like Frankie. Not only loses, but gets put out for the first time in his career. Then it raises the questions, does he switch weight classes? Where does he go from here? And we just have to ask these questions because we have to see where does he want to go in his career. I think Frankie's going to realize what's best for him. Does he want to try a new weight class? Does he want to try to reinvent himself at a new weight class and try other things? But man, that brings up some very fun matchups.
It does.
There and fights.
It does, but could you imagine Frankie Edgar versus Dominic Cruz or something insane like that? Like, that'd be amazing.
You look at those guys.
That'd be amazing.
Or even Garbrandt's already scheduled.
He's a 35. Yeah.
But he's already scheduled to fight a rematch. TJ.
Maybe TJ might fight DJ. TJ might fight DJ.
When she starts mumbling, that means she knows something that she's not speaking.
No, I'm just saying. But
that's what I've learned about Karyn.
In vino veritas, right? Don't they say? No, but the thing for Frankie is you could put Frankie with Josh Emmett. You could put Frankie with, you know what I mean? Like, I'm totally cool with him staying at 45. Totally cool with him staying at 45.
I mean, if he's... How old is Frankie? Do you know?
30, mid-30s.
Mid-30s. Yeah. Not my... He's like early 30s or mid. 34. Let's just say he's 34.
Google it, Wade. I forget.
He hasn't lost his speed or...
Wait. Frankie's not that. He's not.
You guys know who's going to say it first.
He's 36.
Damn, he's my age.
He's your age.
There you go.
Are you an old man?
I'm not an old man.
That's what I'm saying.
Careful.
You're not an old man. Okay.
What I was getting at is, at Frankie's age, depending on how many years he has left, Frankie is a kind of guy that could say, you know what, maybe I should pull back a little bit and just look for the super fights. I mean, this wasn't a super fight in a way. Bryant Ortega, though, is a up-and-coming star where he wasn't one of these marquee guys, as Conor McGregor was trying to say. So if Frankie wanted to try a new weight class, that's an option, reinvent himself. If he wants to just sit back and say, look, I want the super fights, I want the big names or whatever, just something that's an exciting matchup.
Right.
The payday is not necessarily trying to take the climb to the top. I just don't see Frankie as one of those guys.
No.
He's a guy that wants to be the champion, wants to be the belt.
For sure. Frankie's not here to make a living. No, he's here to...
I agree.
Right.
And he's already made his money, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So he's not really... I'm sure he's trying to look for the good paydays, but he's already made his money. So I don't know. I see him as a guy that wants to chip away to get to the belt again.
And I'm there for whatever Frankie wants to do. I'm down. I'm a fan. Always will be. The guy's like a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Frankie's a man. That said, the dog just
I don't know if you heard that.
had a big sigh.
The dog over here is just over this conversation.
Now I have to ask you though, because everybody, I can't assume you know.
Are we still on the Frankie thing?
We're on the Frankie thing. Everybody should know, or if they don't already know, if they didn't already know this about me, I mother frickin' love me some Jose Aldo. Okay?
Yes,
always have.
And Frankie.
Huge fan.
And Frankie Edgar.
If I could fight, I want to fight like Frankie with those kicks. Like I mean, like Jose. If I could have been a fighter, I would love to fight like Jose Aldo. That said, you know, I think Jose's time as champion has passed, and I am way down with Maxi Baby. But if you put Maxi Baby and Bryant Ortega together in a title fight at UFC Hawaii, my brain is probably going to explode, and I actually now don't know who I would pick.
And I want on that card.
And I want you on that card. I want all of us on that card.
Go fight.
I want to stay at the Mandarin Oriental on Oahu.
Wait, let me.
If not, if it's on Maui, I know exactly where I want to stay there. But dude, who are you taking? Who are you taking between Maxi Baby and Bryant Ortega?
So we're talking about Max Holloway.
Holloway, Ortega, who do you like?
That's tough, man.
Right?
Because Bryant Ortega is my boy, and he just showed that he is on another level than we thought he was. He's not just a come-from-behind jiu-jitsu guy. He's a guy that, we already knew he could strike.
But Max is the...
But Max is Max is a guy that has a gas tank. He's well-rounded in every area. He's got a solid chin. Max is a tough guy to
long,
right now.
Rangy, scrappy.
With that said, you know what? I was curious how would Ortega fare against Frankie, and he passed that test, and he's done something nobody's ever done before. I don't know why I got all quiet. I'm talking really quiet. I feel like this conversation. It's like I don't want Brian or Max to hear my answer. I'm kind of nervous to give you my pick. I don't have a pick for this one. But that is the fight that we need to see. That is, dude. That is an exciting
I can't matchup. Actually, I can't. We could argue that fight like in circles for days because I could tell you every way that Max could win, and I could tell you every way that Brian could win. But it needs to happen.
I mean,
in Hawaii,
it's pretty much set up for now, right? I mean, it's like
it's ideal for UFC Hawaii for a main event. They're both surfers. They're both like their vibes.
Both guys are at the peak of their career.
Yep.
I mean, you're not getting some old veteran or some guy that was the and I don't mean negative way, but let's say Frankie Edgar. Damn, I just went from old veteran to Frankie Edgar. That's a bad transition. Frankie Edgar, I love you, but you know what I'm saying.
Same age as you.
We're not
Same
getting
age as
a
you.
former champion who's trying to.
No, you got two up and coming. Well, I mean, Max is not up and coming anymore because he's there. But I know what you're saying.
We've got two guys that
young guys
peaking at the height of their career, putting them in an ideal fight matchup.
To the death. Not even 5 rounds. To the death. I don't want to lose Max or Brian. They're both good dudes, but to the death.
Sharks and alligators
it's
back
Thunderdome in Hawaii. Thunderdome.
Take the paint off of the cage where the metal really cuts you up.
The rain comes down at like round 9 to purify the octagon in Hawaii, and then it washes away all the blood that's on the canvas already, and then we just keep going.
That's gonna be our fight.
And I'll come in there, and I'll come in and be like, we don't need another hero. Right, I'll just come in and just do my Tina Turner.
We'll just break these
No, that's
bottles.
the empty one. That's the empty one. Get the big one.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying they will break the bottles.
On camera, so
Wait's on camera sometimes.
It will put it on the hand wraps. Yeah, that's an amazing fight, and
dude, it's a fantastic fight.
It's something
but I feel like
it promote the hell out of it.
I know, but don't you kind of hate the idea that Max and Brian probably have the exact same fan base? Like that's the only thing about it that I hate.
Cool, chill guys.
Exactly, is that if you like Max, you like Brian, right? There's no dude I don't like in that situation, right? And so, like you were talking about with Cowboy and Yancey and why you know whatever. Like I feel like between the two of them, they're so much the same guy that I don't think they would necessarily high five too much. But I feel like as a fan, I really want to see that. But at the same time, those are the same guy in many ways.
And Brian's like a surfer. Like he's gonna go like 2 weeks early and
of course
surf some big waves.
Of course he is.
And do some.
And they both are daddies with cute little kids. Like they're the same guy in so many ways.
What's the movie with Keanu Reeves?
Point Break.
He's gonna go do some Point Break shit, like you're not coming back, man. Like he's gonna go surf some big ass wave during fight week, and then they're gonna fight. It'll be epic, man. Just make it happen.
Yeah.
Brothers Through Iron wants to know, how do you think Brian is going to deal with the size of Maxie?
I don't, but Brian's not small.
Yeah. I thought they're both the same.
Yeah, they're not small.
They're both about 5'11".
Max is like lankier, but Brian I think is broader.
Brian's thicker, yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
He thick. You know.
But
he
that thickness.
He thick. Yeah, I think they're both both when it comes to range and height, they're probably equal. I think that Brian would be the slightly heavier guy, and then I think Max would be the slightly faster guy.
So yeah, I would think Brian, yes, would have the power advantage, and Max will have the volume advantage.
Volume, absolutely. I mean, who has a better volume advantage?
Max is all volume all the time. Here's the question. You know, Max has got some scrappy little subs, but he doesn't want to play with Brian.
No, he doesn't want to be there.
When it comes
Max
to submissions. So I say Max keeps it on the feet if he can.
Yeah. Sprawl and brawl type fight. Lots of crazy exchanges. It'll be a tough one because Bryant isn't necessarily a shot guy. He won't really shoot in. People usually take him down, or he'll maybe get a chip.
And he's like, okay, fine.
Right. He's comfortable with that. But if Max isn't shooting in and they're just standing at range, we could get a 5-round rangy, point for point type fight where these guys are trying to take each other's heads off. But
I can't wait.
It'd be an amazing fight.
It would be an amazing fight. Okay, so
another cool thing.
Oh, we got some questions.
Well, no observation. Joseph Boza was just saying, both guys could actually end up in the lightweight division within the next 5 years.
For sure, they're both so young.
Max has been kind of
they're both because Max gets a little thick when he's out of camp.
Right, but one thing I've found too, it's hard to believe a champion once they've gone on 1 or 2 wins, because every champion I find once they win once or twice they get so confident. They're talking about fighting up. I mean, you look at George St. Pierre, you look at Tyron Woodley, you look at remember when Ben Henderson was talking about taking on different weight classes. Now Max.
Yep.
Everybody does it. Every champion once they've reached the pinnacle, they say, you know what? I'm going to take on the next division too. I want to do something that's never been done. You just get so motivated and excited, and everybody says that. He maybe could. He does balloon up. But I think that's partial champion belt talking right there. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they get kind of confident with the belt.
But Max is young, and Brian is only 27. So both of those guys are going to be here for a while.
And I think he's, like you said, Max did have... he has a tough weight cut, right?
Yeah, I mean, he gets a little thick in the off season.
When she mumbles, she knows something. So I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know anything. What I know is, Alan. What I know is, Andre Soukhamthath might be the not smartest fighter on the
my God, I'm so glad. Okay,
dude. Why the F did you take it to the canvas when the dude couldn't stand up?
Okay, thank you very much. Because I saw this fight at a friend's house. I could not hear the commentary.
Dude, we lost our mind.
I was drinking and I did not watch a post-fight. So this is the first time I've talked about this since
it's a problem.
Barely watching this fight. But I'm screaming during this fight. Wait, if it's pretty much... I don't know if it was tied up.
No.
O'Malley might have been
O'Malley owned him for the first 2 rounds.
O'Malley was up 2 rounds, so you've got to win by knockout. You've got to finish him. And the guy's leg is done. And you're shooting in for a takedown when all you have to do is knock this fool out. And if he falls down, say, stand up. I would just be like, get up. Make him stand up, referee.
Exactly.
And he was like desperately going for the takedown. I was so confused. I'm so glad I forgot all about this. This blew my mind. So this was a topic on post fight that people were
Rashad, if you look at my Instagram, I have a video of Rashad absolutely freaking out, like absolutely losing his mind. And Soukhamthath is a guy that he is trained alongside with, and he likes Andre, but he's like, this has got to be...
He's a nice guy. Yeah, I met him in Mexico City.
The dumbest decision ever. And I guess his corner is screaming and this and that. And for those who didn't see it, Sean O'Malley, Sugar Sean, Disco Stu from The Simpsons. I can relate to the hair. I'm a Sugar Sean fan. Definitely won the first 2 rounds very, very, very clearly. 3rd round, he has a problem with his right leg. It's like a cramp or something in between the bones, or maybe it's broken or whatever. Anyway, we don't really know what the situation is, but he's literally cannot stand. He is hopping. At one point, Soukhamthath takes him down, and they end up getting up. Sean's literally hopping on one foot, right? And Soukhamthath takes him to the ground again, and that's our whole point. We're like, dude, if you said stand up and come here, either the ref is going to say, fighter, you can't continue, like what's going on over here or whatever, right, or whatever. But like the fact that Soukhamthath, who takes him down, but then doesn't have a submission game, doesn't have enough to get the ground and pound it. Like, dude, what are you doing? How do you sweep the leg? Sweep the leg.
Put him in a body bag at least.
What? Why?
I was so confused there. I was like, am I taking crazy pills? Am I the only one following this fight? Because why is he... I met him in Mexico City. Such a good guy. Such a cool guy. He just came off of a big knockout over my buddy, Luke Saunders. So he should have more confidence in his striking. He's already a good striker. He just came off of a big knockout of a tough guy, Luke Saunders.
Fight IQ, not high.
It wasn't there. And why? Why is his corner not like...
No, I think they were screaming for him to let him stand up, and he didn't listen.
Let him up. As Karyn said, not only could he have just picked them apart because he only had one leg, but even if he did that, I would have just been kicking. You know me.
Kick the crap out of
him. He would have fell down and I said, get up. Kick him again. Get up. And I'd have been looking at the ref. What? He can't even continue. He can't even continue. You had like 2 minutes, a minute and a half to do something, and he was taking him down. I was like... Dude, that was a bad move. Bad move by him.
Freaked the F.
Bad move, man.
Oh, he
won that. He won the fight. Like he had the guy not able to continue.
Totally could have.
And the one option he had to hug it out on the ground.
But he keeps it going. He screws up on the ground so that the fight ends up going all the way to the distance. Sean wins the fight, gets the post-fight interview while he's laying on the ground.
Sean O'Malley, by the way, I just got to give a little love to my sponsor, Sanibel. He is the newest member.
Oh, is he?
Got to give love to Sanibel. I got to show some love to Sean.
Right on, Sanibel.
But with that said, he dodged a bullet. I mean, he lost the fight. The guy could not continue. His opponent made the wrong decision. Sean O'Malley does the first ever UFC. He's waiting for the scorecards, Karyn.
I know.
He's waiting for
O'Malley, but Soukhamthath actually stood there like he thought he might have a chance. Dude, you got owned in the first 2 rounds and you totally blew it in the third, and you're standing there and expecting that you actually might get your hand raised. No, the bro on the floor.
Yeah.
The bro on the floor won. What?
I was like, this guy's leg had better be like in pieces.
Totally.
Because I've never seen anybody do a post-fight press conference laying on their back with like 4 people tending to him, and they put a cardboard box on his leg.
So here's the thing. So you know how Soukhamthath likes to rap? He was rhyming a lot. He was rhyming a lot during the pre-fight stuff.
He's like Laotian or
he's Laotian, right. So we were talking a lot of King of the Hill. We were talking a little King of the Hill at work. But your wife is Thai, but Laos is a different country.
I know, but that's all I know. So
I don't know if people understand that Laos is a different country. If you guys
I learned that it's north of Thailand.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Because it said south of Thailand, and people laughed at me. They're like, who cares?
See, the geography of it, I didn't know. So good for you. But if you guys watched King of the Hill, they had Laotian neighbors on King of the Hill, which is a hilarious show. Yeah, I forget the character's name on King of the Hill, but anyway. So Soukhamthath likes to, if you watched Embedded, all he did was like rhyme everything.
Oh, he was on Embedded.
And he was like, all he would do is rhyme, and then Sugar was like, yeah, even when he's like, he's a rhyming fool. So I actually wrote a rap while we were at work.
You wrote it?
I wrote it, because here's the thing. So with T-Wood, when I'm there with Woodley, and when I'm ever Sugar, like, if it came to a rap battle, right, I don't know, maybe I got flow, we'll see how it go. But I don't know, right? So I don't know if I could actually like rap. I think I might be able to rap, but like.
What you saying?
But I don't know for sure if I could rap. But I got words. Okay. Here's the thing: I'm the wordsmith. So she's like, people shut the.
Hold up.
Here's the hold up.
You good?
I'm good. No, I'm good. All right, I'm good. No, that all right. Oh, that's the empty one. Okay, no, the other one.
Okay.
So I'm very good with words. I'm very quick with words. Wait, don't know. Like I could come up with rhymes and raps and stuff like that. But I don't know if I got the flow, because if you guys have noticed, like my skin is brown, but like I'm not as like.
But it's like a hazelnut.
I'm not as like down as other people. Whatever. But anyway, I wrote this rap because Sugar was like, he was frustrated that what Andre was doing, and then so I was like,
let's entertain him.
Here we go. And I don't know my beat. I'm not the beat. Andre Souk, what the fook? Took it to the canvas. The man couldn't stand in this. Called you a soccer mom, then dropped thumbs up. then dropped tons of bombs. You gave the fight away. You come in here to play. Get out of my way. Nothing more to say. But anyway, it was just a basic thing that I was trying to write.
But look how talented she is.
That was literally, no wait, we're not for nothing. I wrote this rap while I was literally on the air, still live.
That's what I'm saying.
So the post-fight show, I started writing a rap.
In between, but she's writing this on
I totally wrote a rap, and I only screwed up one thing. Literally, like, so it said, Andre Souk, what the fook? I don't know, I guess that's too bright.
What the fook?
Andre Souk, what the fook? Took it to the canvas. The man couldn't stand in this. Called you soccer mom, then dropped tons of bombs. You gave the fight away. You come in here to play? Get out of my way. Got nothing more to say.
Hey, but you know what's funny about that?
That's actually not bad.
It's not bad because it's like a Lil Wayne song. Like, I'll jam it the first time, and when I go back and listen to it again, I'm like, damn, he came up with that shit.
I know. But
smart.
I literally was sitting there, right? I'm literally, so we're on the post-fight show and we're live, and we're like, okay, da-da-da-da-da. Hey, Sugar, Jimmy, take us through the highlights, right? So they take us through the highlights. So we go off camera. I'm literally writing that rap, like while we're on the air live, because, and I've done this for Tyron too. Like, I feel like T-Wood, Sugar, those guys might actually have the flow, but I'm the wordsmith.
I should have given you a beat. It might.
I'm gonna write.
My beat wasn't that good. I'm gonna work.
I mean, I can freestyle if you wanted to, but anyway. So let's move.
I gotta give you a little something better this time.
Wait.
Got a question.
How drunk is Karyn?
We've already established that a long time ago.
Bottle and a half in.
Hey, I didn't have any carbs this morning. I just had some scrambled eggs and spinach.
We've had comments.
Pretty good.
She's getting red and Karyn is singing. So
am I getting red?
they know it's kicking in.
One day we'll do the ecstasy version of the.
Oh Jesus!
No, we won't. No, we won't, because that's illegal, and we would never do that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I was a crazy kid growing up too. Okay, go ahead.
Which is the most amazing story.
Yeah.
You seem so responsible and like got everything together. And then Alan off camera will tell us things. He's like, there was one time we're like, are you kidding me right now? Like,
I used to be running up and down the beaches of Destin, Florida.
That's amazing, too.
With my Vicks blowing Vicks in people's face. Like, what the hell?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
You seem like you were always had everything together.
No.
Like, I never can picture punk ass Alan Jouban. Like,
I was a punk.
Called to the principal's office, Alan Jouban. Like, I don't picture it.
Expelled from school.
I don't see it. I can't see it.
I was a graduating junior or something like that. I don't think I was a senior in high school. I had so many.
I can't even imagine it. I can't imagine it.
Where do we go? We can't get into that. Let's go.
Were you one of those seniors?
Yeah, he's like 25.
Like, I had like 3 different classes. I mean, 3 different. Like, I was a junior. I don't even know, man. I was trying to make up stuff.
And I was such a goody two-shoes.
Were you?
Oh, dude, straight A's and like, I'm a dork. I got all my homework done early. Like, no dates. No dates will do that to you, Alan.
That's what I'm trying to
I had 0 dates until I got to college. Like,
oh, a date?
No dates.
Like, not the fruit, not the.
No. I eat they're very good.
Not off the tree.
High in carbs and sugar, but good for you if you're ever in a pinch. But no, like 0 dates. So the fact that I had like no boys or boyfriends, man, I got.
Well, see, that's a good
straight
thing.
mother cracking A's.
So that's why you turned out so well. My wife didn't even touch alcohol until she was 25, and so.
Oh really?
That's why she's my little beauty.
Love me some Nicole.
Love me some Nicole.
That's a beautiful girl. Okay, so we have questions.
This question might be kind of fun because you're a little tipsy.
No.
Brothers Through Iron is asked.
Okay.
Brothers Through Iron.
Thoughts of a possibility on perhaps a USADA exemption fight between Jon Jones and Brock Lesnar.
John would win.
I'm down for this. I think John.
Do you think Brock's coming back? There's all kinds of rumors that Brock. Right.
What do you think about?
There's all these rumors that Brock's coming back.
Well, if Dana said it's true, then it's true. So that's all I know. Yeah, you know, Dana already said that John will be back this year, and it looks like that's not happening anymore.
No.
Right?
John can't fight in California. He still has to. John had his meeting with CSAC. CSAC took his license away. CSAC is the California State Athletic Commission.
Right. So
he was then fined $200,000 and something. John can't fight in California. That doesn't mean John can't fight again.
And so when
he still has his USADA meeting. I forget exactly when, but
there's still a light at the end of the tunnel. I
would actually think John will fight again, just not in California this year.
Interesting.
What's in USADA's hands?
Right, and I think I think there's enough. I don't know, maybe with the tainted this and the that, and John is important, and
I've noticed that.
I think we could see John in 2018. I wouldn't write it off.
I feel that USADA is pushing for John to get back in.
I wouldn't write it off. I think so. I think he'll come back this year.
But if that fight did ever happen, I feel like John is good enough to stay on his feet, even though Brock is a big man. But John will be able to use his reach long enough to stay off the cage, pick him apart.
But also, if you remember, I was there. We were there. We saw Alistair and Brock and all that stuff. But like, and I know this is a thing people like to say all the time, like, who doesn't like to get hit? Well, none of us like to get hit, right? No. But they say, but Brock, you can tell, kind of really doesn't love to get hit, right?
He just hasn't had enough repetitions. He's still got almost like the punch reflex where he squints, you know what I mean?
And he's huge and powerful, but John does know how to wrestle. I mean, granted, if Brock gets you down and you're under Brock, I would imagine that's incredibly difficult to get up from.
Yeah.
We saw it with Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt does not have the wrestling that John Jones has. I feel like John Jones is so incredibly crafty and so incredibly talented, and we've seen his frame can carry a heavyweight body. I would still give that fight to John Jones.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just such a fight, a matchup that you could game plan for. Like,
for sure.
All you do is you put in some big, huge, strong guy in the cage with John every sparring session.
Stuff takedowns.
Stuff to take down and keep your range. Every time he takes 1 inch forward, you move 2 inches back. Like, you just don't even let him get close to you. You use that 87 or whatever.
Ridiculous reach.
And just stay. Everything is at the end of the punch. And he would just do that for 2 months and get used to nobody even coming close to him. Then when he gets in with Brock, who I will say, though, is very explosive for a big man.
For sure.
He covers distance very fast. But I feel like John Jones would have strategized so deeply for this type of matchup that he would be so good at staring away and picking them apart.
Teep kicks, oblique kicks, jabs, all that
kicks all day because Brock, his hands wouldn't be in the right place. Yeah.
But I agree, Brock is incredibly explosive, and he's like one second he's over there, and the next second he's shooting a double.
Even in his last couple of fights where you kind of saw the USADA effect, his body type looked differently. He looked a little bit different, but he still covered distances like a sprinter.
Hey, by the way, though, I'm okay with Brock coming back. Like, I'm
okay with it too.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That'd be fun. Got some more questions? I know there's more stuff from 222 we should talk about.
I don't know if you'd have the answer, but Ryan Smith is asking, if California takes away the license, don't all the other states follow suit?
I don't think they have to. I don't think they have.
No,
I don't think they have to.
I mean, you look at just the new rule policy where some states adopt the new rules, some states adopt the old rules. Everything, I agree, should be one cohesive thing. Everybody's playing on the same terms. That way there's not any questions like you're asking now, but it's not like that, unfortunately.
But like you said, and that actually sucks, because we were talking about the fact that you could go somewhere and know, oh, a hand on the canvas means he's down. Or it doesn't. Does it? It doesn't. Like, for sure, you guys should have one universally adopted rule set.
I find myself asking that all the time. And by the way, I'm so glad you reminded me of that. I don't even remember my referee's name in this fight, but he came to me in the rules meeting.
In Orlando?
In Orlando.
Okay.
He came up to me and gave me the rules meeting. I asked him the same thing I said. So just to clarify, it's one hand, two hand, just because that's always in my head.
Yep.
Which is a shitty thing for us fighters to have to always kind of reiterate.
And also in the moment to go, how many points are on the canvas? Like, that would suck to have to try to look before you threw a kick.
It should be just like a common acknowledgement that we know this is good or bad. But I went over that with him, and then I said, look, man, my last fight, I didn't get a rules meeting. I wasn't afforded that.
Yo, Nico Price, you got away with something.
Yeah, I said, look, man, if I get in trouble, I get in trouble a lot. Let me dig myself out and this and that. So I got that rules meeting. Fortunately, I didn't have to go there. But I wanted to bring that up because I've been talking about it forever, how important rules meetings are to me, because I tell the refs, look, I'm kind of like an Eddie Alvarez, where I get knocked down almost every fight, but I always get back up if you let me climb myself out. So I don't know how we got on that, but that happened in Orlando, so we're happy to do that rules meeting. Oh, we're talking about the different states.
Well, no, and so I think with John losing his ability to fight in California, I don't think that will necessarily be universally adopted by other commissions. I do not actually think so.
We got to wrap this up soon because I got to go pee. The champagne is running through.
Okay, so
we got a lot of questions about Mackenzie.
I was just going to say at UFC 222, there's a couple of two topics I really want to talk about. We'll get to we'll do Mackenzie first, I guess, and then I really want to talk about the Lombard DQ. But Mackenzie, You know, this is a woman, a young girl that we know from the jiu-jitsu world here in SoCal. She's just a lovely girl, real sweet, great personality, just lively, bubbly, and like obviously really incredibly sick on the canvas. I thought Yoder, who Ashley's such a good girl. She's such a sweet girl. I met her, you know, through Tough 23. And I thought Ashley did really well the first couple rounds, and I thought, you know, she stuffed the takedowns and she made Mackenzie work on the feet. You know, and Mackenzie ultimately did get in a controlling position, but I was happy for Ashley that she fought it off, didn't get choked out. But if I'm 100% honest, like, I think Ashley did better in that fight than, like, I don't know that it was with so many split decisions that night. I'm not 100% sure that, like, Mackenzie.
You felt it could have gone the other way.
Yeah.
Not a robbery, but it could have gone.
Yeah, like I feel like it wasn't decisive. Let's just put it that way.
That was one of those fights where I was traveling to a party. I didn't get to see it. I went back and tried to kind of go through it real quick, but I would say that Mackenzie looked, man, when she was on the feet, she was aggressive at certain times.
She's aggressive, and she knows that her form isn't there yet, right?
Yeah.
So she's the first to admit, listen.
Compensates with aggression.
Right, listen, I might be aggressive, and she admits that the stand-up is an evolving game. Obviously, that's not where she's strong. But I love Mackenzie's spirit of, let's just go for it. You know what I mean? And I think she's a great addition to the sport. That said, she's going to get pieced up by other girls that are more talented on the feet.
Oh, you heard it here first, guys. Let me tell you something about Mackenzie on the ground, though. Mackenzie won in a grappling match against who? Who was it again?
Gabby Garcia.
Gabby Garcia.
Who weighs, and I'm not trying to be mean, Gabby is probably a $185, right?
I'm not saying a good weight.
Like probably a $185.
I don't want no, a $185. No, she's like.
You think he's more than that?
Oh,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
Big time.
Gabby Garcia is a legit, real deal, incredible threat in jiu-jitsu, and little Mackenzie beat her.
Gabby Garcia is probably, I think she's probably like close to
210?
210, 215, 220. Because I walk around 190 and she's bigger than me. She's bigger than me.
Okay, yeah, she is bigger than you. She is, isn't she?
Yeah, you know, she's
got. I was being polite saying 185 because no girl.
But she's a beast, and Mackenzie was able to
Mackenzie's great. Mackenzie's great.
Shows her level of grappling skills.
But Mackenzie will get lit up by a better striker.
Yeah, she has some holes to fill.
Ashley was a great matchup for her because Ashley has a lot of heart and she's scrappy and she is competent in a lot of areas but doesn't necessarily excel in any. I think that was a good fight for Mackenzie to get somebody who was going to be competitive with her. I feel like though, I feel like Mackenzie needs to work on her endurance. Yeah. And I feel like there are women who would definitely piece her up on the feet. So she's got to keep going on there.
Back to the drawing board. She got the win. She did get the win.
I'm happy she's here too. Listen, she's a lovely girl, and I'm happy she's here.
Got the win, but now that she's in the UFC,
she's got to get her hands. She's got
competition's only going to get.
She's got to work on her hands. She's got to work on her hands.
Here's a question I have, and a fan asked. Why did they have a translator in there with Mackenzie?
So Mackenzie,
she's fluent in English.
I know. So Mackenzie has Brazilian parents.
But that was what George. What's his name?
But that's George Gurgel.
Yeah. Gurgel.
So wait, Alan needs some more. You guys.
George Gurgel looked like a damn Mexican pimp.
No, I know Gurgel was just like, I want some more airtime. But no, the funny thing is, so Mackenzie's comes from Brazilian heritage, but yes, was raised in the States. But I feel like that was also, it wasn't so much that they brought Gurgel in to translate for Mackenzie that she couldn't understand English. I think it was because this is a fight that goes out to the world, and knowing that Cyborg was also the main event, you need to translate for the Brazilians, for that audience that is going to be there. So Mackenzie, she said she speaks more Portuguese than English every day in her lifetime, in her actual life.
I feel like this might be the first podcast I have to run and take a leak.
You can take a time out.
Can you carry?
I think I can carry.
Can you carry?
Oh my!
I know this is.
Do you think Karyn can talk for 2 minutes while Alan? You can just leave it on. No. He's gonna drop it. So here's the thing. While you go, I'll tell a story about MTV when I was there at MTV. You'll leave it on. Yeah. We won't record it.
I'm gonna run.
Yeah. So while I was a VJ at MTV.
Oh, I got my broken foot. I don't have my cat.
Oh no, he can't even. He's limping.
He's hobbling to the restroom.
We actually did have a reel of famous musicians going to the bathroom because they didn't always remember to turn off their microphones, and they would leave our set, and then they would go relieve themselves. So that is something that we had at MTV. I do try to remember, when I'm at Fox, our ladies' bathroom and our men's bathroom are too far away from the set. So the actual, it doesn't actually carry that far. And just so you guys know, if you want a little bit of an inside speak, it's called 10100. That's the code speak when you're on a set. And if you need to go to the bathroom, you say, do I have time for 10100? Or you go, can I go 101? Or whatever. But it does happen. And yes, so Alan... I love that he's 10-1. We got about a bottle and a half down to 8. So Wade's birthday. Oh, that's terrible. He's faking, he's faking, he's faking. So it's Wade's birthday tomorrow. I got him a really cool gift. It's in the corner of the room. I covered it up because it was kind of big, so I couldn't really wrap it. Part of me is tempted to have you uncover it here. No, don't go. Oh. No, I'm saying I'll so yeah, here we go. So it's his birthday tomorrow. So you should grab your drink and we should celebrate your birthday. So it's partly tempting to have him open his present here on the show, but I won't.
Alan's back.
Oh, you have it already? Yeah.
It's over there in the corner, and it's pretty dang cool. I'm not gonna lie. But you know,
see it.
Yeah, I could tell you or show you what it is after. But you know, it's funny because. Tonight we'll probably go out and celebrate his birthday because our little mini-me tomorrow. His birthday's tomorrow. I don't know. See, here's the thing.
I got a place to go.
And to all of our Korean followers.
Oh my God.
No, you go to Catch? No, it's good. To all of our Korean followers.
With the garden and all that? Yeah.
I love my Korean friends.
What's going on? What are we leading into?
I don't love my Korean
barbecue
friends' food.
Oh, you don't love a Korean barbecue? I'm down with it, but you can't do Korean barbecue very frequently. You got to do Korean barbecue.
Well, he only do it once a year for his birthday.
Oh, you're big into
because I don't like it.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, you know.
I don't like, dude. It's too much pickling. Too much.
Yeah, all the little dishes and bowls and you know, the ribs and everything. Yeah, we only do Korean barbecue maybe like once or twice a year.
You know what it is? Partly too is I don't really care for it that much, but the barbecue, it doesn't come out of my hair, Alan.
Well, yeah,
it doesn't come out of my hair. So then I smell like Korean barbecue for like a.
You gotta braid it like Bryant Ortega when you go eat.
Dude, he did Black Girl Magic. Somebody asked me too. They tweeted me. They're like, "Yo, what do you think about Ortega's hair?" And I was like, "It's totally working for me." Like, I don't know if somebody was trying to bait me and think I was trying to be mad at him. Like, Brian looked great. I'm not mad at him at all.
I wonder who does.
I don't know. It looked good. I would like to try it myself actually, because it was even better on fight night.
But you know what happened? Because for the weigh-ins, he had the braids.
It was kind of like a patchy. Yeah, it was. Yeah. He
had like the black girl thing going on.
He did a Black Girl Magic.
For the fight night, he said, "I got to put it in a."
It was even better.
I need to braid my 2 ponytails or whatever.
It was good.
I wonder I'm serious. I was thinking about this in fight night, like. And I should know because I'm a fighter, but I don't have long hair like that. Does the UFC provide that?
No. No. I don't think so. No, you got to call your girls because I know my girl.
But how do you have a girl in every?
No. Miss Rara. Hey, Rara.
Because I think every fighter does this.
Right. So Rara used to do. I think she used to do Uriah's and like a lot of the alpha male folks. Rara's such a cool girl. But yeah, I don't know because like I saw Sarah McMahon after the fight and stuff, and yeah, a lot of these girls have like their hair looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought Brian's hair looked so good, but I don't think the UFC provides it. I think you need to kind of go outside.
Because I was kind of thinking like the UFC does provide obviously like what's her name that does the makeup and stuff?
Susie Q. Yeah, we love Susie.
They do all that stuff for all our promo stuff,
right.
You know,
right, but I don't think they provide a braider.
So I thought maybe they had somebody on standby for people that need, because girls in the UFC get a little bit more than guys in terms of like they get 2 hotel rooms, because if you have most of them have predominantly male coaches, so they're provided a free hotel room for them, a free hotel room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's little like perks that girls get. Just because, you know, obviously it's kind of a man's world in terms of coaching.
Well, yeah, just because you're my coach doesn't mean we're effing, even though most of you
are in the same room. So I was wondering
that would be weird.
If girl fighters also were like allowed a budget to bring in somebody to take care of their hair.
I don't think so. I feel like it's something that they, and I could totally be wrong, but I feel like it's something that they do on the side, like out of their own whatever. But the people are so on point, because Bryant's hair looked amazing. Chris's hair looked amazing. Like, I love the braids. And yeah, even on, like, Sarah McMahon's hair looked fantastic when we were in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. I would love it. I've never had my hair braided, actually. I think, actually, it would be really, really fun. Maybe that's something we can do as a video. Have my hair braided and do it. But yeah, your hair is too short. Okay,
Sure.
so anyway.
I was trying to take Brian.
So yeah, no. What's up? So the other fights on the card here that I was interested in, we already talked about Zingano Vieira a little bit. Struve Arlovski. This one going into it, I didn't really know who to pick on this one. Stefan's a friend of ours, and I really, really like Stefan. You know, we have a lot of Dutch friends. Obviously, people know we love us some Gegard. We love us some Antoni Hardonk. Stefan is right up in there with our beloved Dutch crew, and so I was really hoping for him to do well. Arlovski looked good though, and they were saying Arlovski, and I wish I had the stats. Had more takedowns in that fight than like his entire career combined. He was never a takedown guy. To be able to take down a 7-foot person is really something special. With Stefan, whenever I watch him, I get a little frustrated because I feel like he doesn't use his body to his advantage, right? And doesn't use his jab. And I know there have been times when Stefan, I don't want to necessarily use the word lazy because, but that's maybe it, right? That maybe in a fight or maybe during his camps he hasn't done everything he can, right? He hasn't lived up to his full potential. That said, I thought Arlovski looked great, and I was happy for him. Like,
I agree. I don't think Stefan uses his size to his advantage. Remember, thinking about the fight, the one thing that just jumps off the page that I remember was thinking that Arlovski looked very calculated in this fight. Almost like methodical, thinking in advance. You know what? Let me just secure this win. It might not be one of those fight of the night bonuses. It might not be a knockout bonus, but I'm just gonna put him away, get back in, or get the win, and then move forward from there. He seemed like kind of, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but he seemed like an older, smarter fighter, saying, "Let me just do what I have to do to get rid of this tall, dangerous man." And he did just that. He got, you know, he did what he had to do to get the win, but he didn't seem like he was going for broke at any part of the fight.
No, but at the same time, with that said, I'm not mad at Andre for that, right?
Yeah.
Like, so the fact that the guy who literally at one point was on a 4-fight losing streak, or maybe even it was 5 or whatever, but like had got knocked out repeatedly. Everybody was like, oh my God, you're so chinny. You're done, you're done, you're done.
And that was years back.
Years back. Found a way to reinvent himself. Like, I was at those affliction fights. I've seen it. I saw him get knocked the F out. You know what I mean? And right. And so the fact that Andre is still here and found a way, yes, to fight smart and win like that.
What is
like,
he now? Is Andre?
How old is Andre? Did I write it down?
Somebody was 42. No, you know, it was, what's his name? Mike Pyle.
Oh, Mike Pyle.
Who retired was 42. I think Andre's.
But Andre's up there. But you know what? I am. I don't know. I know he's maybe sort of saying, going to try to put together another run. And heavyweights are historically our oldest weight class, right? So the average age of a heavyweight is actually 36 or 37 or so, whereas a lot of your other weight classes are younger. I'm not mad at Andre. I don't know that he necessarily has a title run in him, but that's 2 in a row for him. I'm okay with it.
I don't know if I see it happening either, but every fighter needs to give himself a goal, a motivation, a purpose in life and in camp. And if that's his purpose, you know what? I'm making a run, then like you said, I ain't mad at him either. He's got to go for it.
Yeah, and that's 2 losses in a row though for Stefan, so that does sting a little bit.
I've got some bad news.
What?
This party is nearly over.
Oh no!
We're
okay. Last thing I'm going to ask you about.
2 bottles of
that sucks. That sucks.
What about, we're talking about the late stoppage, right? The late punch.
No, yes, exactly.
Dollaway.
The DQ. So here's the thing. CB Dollaway won via DQ.
Yeah.
Hector Lombard, after they had a 1-round fight, which I actually was enjoying. Hector Lombard hit him with a little bit of a 2-piece combo.
As Snoop would say.
As the bell was ringing and maybe sort of after the bell. I do think the hit was late. I do think there's a sense of a little bit of momentum. I do think people don't like Hector, so they're trying to throw him under the bus. And I do think maybe CB could have continued.
Wow.
Could have continued. I will phrase it that way.
Bold statement. by the
What do you think?
Just Karyn Bryant.
By the tipsy Karyn Bryant. I think he could have continued. I don't think it was that bad. I've never been hit by Hector Lombard, and I absolutely 100% decisively say, clearly, you are the professional fighter and I am not, and I've never been hit by Hector Lombard. That said, it looked like a punch you could have sustained and continued fighting.
The punch and the knockdown that happened, I will agree with you, but I will play, as we like to do, the devil's advocate.
Right.
I will agree with, I think Joe Rogan touched on this during the fight, and when he was kind of elaborating on it, it kind of dawned on me, yeah, you know what, Joe's probably right on this. He seemed very concussed, right? Like he kept, and so maybe it's pertaining to what you're saying. Seemed that maybe he was milking it, but all we know is what we're given, and what we were given is a concussed sounding fighter. The doctors only know what
they're never going to let that keep going.
Yeah, the guy kept. He just had a clueless look on his face, right?
What happened?
And look, when Nico Price dropped me and the ref stopped it, I thought it was I thought it was like a reset. I thought I got poked in the eye or kicked in the ball. I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. And he's like, no, it's over. And I was like,
it's not over. What the hell? Right.
Sometimes it takes you a minute to get your focus.
Yep.
For me, in that case, it took about 10, 15 seconds. This was over a couple of minutes that he was still out of it saying, what happened? What happened? What happened? So it really becomes a question of whose side you believe. Karyn, do you think that maybe he was milking it a little bit, or was he really that concussed for 3, 4, 5 minutes after the knockdown? He still didn't know where he was. With that said, it was the right decision.
It was a late hit.
By rules, it was a late hit, and if a fighter is acting concussed and doesn't know where he's at, you have to stop the fight. So it was the right decision. Was he milking it or going another way? I don't know, but yeah, I do remember that. Like, even when they were kind of like, didn't they gurney him off or something, or carry him off?
And he's still saying what happened. Even
as he was walking by the press row, by the media, he was like, what happened? What happened? And I was like, damn, he's still asking that question.
And I guess my point is, and I truly, truly, truly am not trying to say that he looked for an easy out or anything like that, because I absolutely don't think any fighter wants to win by DQ and feels awesome about that, right?
But you're raising the question, right? Like a possible,
but it's fine. Scenario. But we all know you don't go in there. You're not trying to look for an easy DQ win. With all the hard work you put in, with everything you want to do and prove as a fighter, as a professional fighter, you're not trying to go in there and game the system.
Yeah.
By definition, you are a professional effing fighter. Yeah. You want to go in there and fight. So I give that to CB. That said, the punches that came, and I agree, they were late. I'm questioning the momentum. I'm questioning, you know, how far Hector was in the zone and whether it came because I guess it had happened a few times during the first round. Catch the leg, 1-2 combo, right? And I like Hector, and I know he's upset, and we had texted her, and I said, hey, that sucks. Like, I'm sure you're bummed, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm really upset. We're going to appeal that, whatever. It was late. Was it momentum? I don't know. But I guess my biggest issue with the whole thing is CB Dollaway is a professional fighter. I feel like he's probably been hit worse than that.
Okay, no.
So I feel like
that will always be.
It was bad and it was late, but was it that bad?
But had that been 2 seconds before the bell, would he continue?
He would have continued, I think.
I know what you're saying. I agree.
But you know what I'm saying? I really am not trying to say he was pretending, because I've never been hit by Hector Lombard. Okay, I don't want to be.
So this is a valid point, because.
But I feel like as a professional fighter, he's been hit harder than that and kept going.
I agree. I'll agree with that, because he probably has been hit harder with that before. You know, sometimes just the right place at the right time. We never really know.
Absolutely.
His brain is the one that got
Absolutely. His brain is the one that got bounced, not mine.
But there is something to say about if you're in the middle of a fight and I broke my foot, right? Okay, I'm fighting. I kept kicking the guy. As soon as the fight's over, I'm like, oh, shit, I can't walk.
It hurts.
That's a mental thing. So we take that into this fight. He got hit after the bell. Bing, he gets hit 1-2 piece up combo. The referee's saying, that was late, that was late. All of a sudden, he goes into kind of mode of, damn, that was late.
That was late,
a
and that
foul.
sucked. That
if
hurts.
that would have been before the bell, what if he had just been in, you know what, I got to survive, whatever, I got to recover, because in 1 minute, I got to jump back in there. So we don't really know where his mindset really was, because was he kind of playing off of one or the other? We don't know. But I will say that it was illegal, so the right rules were done.
It was late.
If it was before the bell, it wasn't like it was a super late combo. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Jose Aldo versus Frankie Edgar, I believe, in Brazil, when Conor McGregor was sitting there fighting, watching in the first row.
Yep.
And Jose Aldo hit him with a 1-2 combo right as the bell rang and dropped him. And then he jumped back up and they finished around. It was like third round or something. It reminded me just of that. Kind of semi-late. This one was a little bit later, I will say that. But it was late. But Frankie, or whoever, not Frankie Edgar, it was who's the hunting guy from
Chad
Alpha Male?
Mendez.
Chad Mendez, I'm sorry. It was Jose Aldo pieced up Chad Mendez, and Chad Mendez did recover and continue to fight. But it was a crazy stoppage. Anytime you have a guy getting carried off, carted off of the octagon and gets the win, it's a weird combo. Just like when John Jones suffered his first loss inside the octagon from the illegal elbow.
Right.
And he was piecing up Matt Hamilton.
Well, and the other thing is too,
piecing up seems to be the word.
Right. No, but the other thing is too is that
with
yeah,
CB or
with CB and Hector. Yeah, it was after the bell, but like I said, you would know better than I. People comparing it to Jermaine Durand to me and Holly Holm.
Yeah,
it is your momentum, and clearly, again, I can't state this enough. I am not the professional fighter, so I don't know what that feels like to A, get hit by Hector Lombard, or B, be in the momentum of throwing a combination in a fight. But for you have been there. You do live in that moment. And Hector, that people are saying, oh, well, he should have heard the bell. The ref said, had said short time. The ref is in there waving it off. So a lot of people are saying Hector knew what was happening and that he did that on purpose, because I do think a lot of people have heard stories or whatever and think Hector is a quote-unquote dirty fighter, right? So he sort of has that a stigma or whatever you want to call it, of people thinking that of him. But if you're in the moment, right? Like so let's say, Alan, that's you, and you're Hector, right? I have a feeling that you can at least to some degree sympathize with that momentum argument, right?
100%. Maybe at least on the first punch. But you got to think the bell's about to ring.
Yeah.
You get kicked and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get you back. Bah! And then you hit the 1-2 real quick. Yes. It was a reaction, a momentum thing. Like I'm trying to get you back before you get me back again. But it was after the bell.
It's a tough call.
At the end of the day, I get where both guys are coming from. But I would have to side on the air on the side of they did the right decision. It was after the bell. It was DQ'd. He did seem concussed. What was really going on, I don't really know. But I think all in all.
And I agree with you. I tweeted it. I said, yeah, that was late and whatever. And if we're going by rules, yes, the right thing happened. Right, the right thing happened. Only CB Dollaway knows how bad it landed. Yeah. And I will never in a million years try to say that he was this, that, whatever. If we're going by rules, it was a late hit, and that's the right call. I just feel like I kind of don't feel like Hector intended the late hit, and I kind of don't think... I feel like CB probably could have kept fighting. I
would have been curious to see, like I said, if it had happened right before the bell, how would he have recovered during?
I feel like he would have just sucked it up and kept going.
Well, I had a question for Alan. As a professional fighter, you guys aren't machines.
Yeah, you're not.
If you just took a body kick, your instincts are going to kick in. I'm assuming, like, defend myself.
Yeah, you hit me. I hit
you
you
just took a hit him back. He got hit, the bell went off, but his instincts have already kicked in, hit him back. I mean, is it reasonable to say that you can just turn that off? I mean,
yes and no. It's like...
And the ref's sort of here, but not like right in your face.
But I will say, like, if you have full intentions of shutting it down when the
I believe we're back. I apologize.
Are we back?
We are back, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, so there.
Are you sure? Are we back? Are we there? Are we back? So
That was a test. We're testing the system.
we're live. We're testing the system. Are we back? Are we think?
I believe we're back.
We think we're back. We think we're back.
I think we're back. We're gonna talk anyway.
But here's the thing. With the whole, just sort of, yeah, we think we're good. Wrapping up the Lombard stuff. Is I know people have certain feelings about him, and I know that after he, left Bellator and came to the UFC, that maybe he didn't pan out to be what he could have been. And I said this, I think on Twitter, that I was like, hey, look, Hector's always been cool with me. I've always been cool with him. I know not everybody has a great relationship, but some people think he's, that his personality is or whatever, and whatever. My personal liking or just whatever for the guy has nothing to do with the situation. It's just that I do feel like, it was late, but I don't know if it was as devastating as it ended up being. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
To conclude it all, I agree. The initial shot that I saw, I was like, okay, he hit him, but it wasn't. It's late. But when he went down, he was able to still brace himself. His head didn't bounce off the canvas. His eyes didn't roll back. It wasn't anything like that. But he seemed to have some concuss symptoms after.
For sure.
So it was the right rule that was done. How badly was he hurt? We don't.
I don't know. We will never know. Only CB knows. Yeah. Okay, so out of the night, we already talked about Cat and Vieira and Jouban. So my heart was a little bit broken for Beneil Dariush.
Oh man, that was a shocker.
Actually, a lot broken for my boy Benny.
What was his name? Hernandez.
Yeah, Alex Hernandez. That
guy was so confident, and I remember he's saying, and totally agreeing with Karyn. Karyn was saying how Hernandez said it's a perfect matchup for a UFC debut on short notice against Beneil Dariush, who's very good everywhere. And you kind of laughed at that, perfect matchup. And I agreed. I was like, because I've rolled with Beneil, and he's very, very, very strong on the ground. He's a very tricky striker, southpaw striker on the feet. Yeah, he's southpaw, right? Southpaw.
Yep. Yeah.
Striker on the feet, very good. And he's faced some of the elite guys in the division, so he's a tough matchup for anybody, much less a debuter. For a debuter to come out and switch stances like that and catch him and put him away so decisively was a huge debut for Hernandez. That wraps up that segment on that one.
I cried a little bit.
Yeah, bad, tough one. Let me ask you this, to dig a little deeper into it. I don't remember. Is this Beneil's first fight since coming back from that knee knockout to... No,
I think he won another one in between, because he knocked out James Vick. Then he had that terrible... But then there was the Barboza thing,
Barboza.
Right? But I think Benny had won another one before then.
Okay.
And
because I would hope so. I would hope that maybe he got another win between Barboza.
He did. I'm pretty sure he did.
Knockout was such a highlight reel knockout.
He had a draw with Evan Dunham.
That's it.
He won a draw. Oh, it was a draw.
No, it was a draw.
Lost to Edson Barboza, had a draw with Evan Dunham.
And then... But,
wow. Okay, so Beneil right now, I feel for him, man, because he's such a talented fighter. Had that tough knockout for Barboza, then had a draw, and now comes out and gets knocked out again. So he's, 2 losses and a draw in his last 3 fights. So he needs something very, very big coming up in his next fight.
If anybody knows.
I know Karyn's a big fan. I'm a fan.
I know.
Great fighter.
Benny is the guy.
Yeah.
Other than you, because you're already married, Benny's the guy that I say, I wish I had a girl. If I had a girl that needed a really sweet, strong, stand-up dude,
super good guy.
I would introduce Benny to any of. If I had a little sister, I would introduce her to Benny.
He's a nice guy.
He's a great guy.
Good respectful fighter. Good fighter.
Good fighter. Great fighter.
This guy. Hernandez, is that his name? Hernandez?
Yeah, whatever. Good for you, little mini baby Rick story.
Yo, this guy,
little baby Rick story. Come on.
Yo, he's chesty, man. He's chesty. That old boy guy, you're like,
dude, I'm not mad. And that's the whole thing. Do you even bench, bro? No, that's my whole thing. Is as much as I love me some Benny, I'm always excited when new blood comes in. You know what I mean? And really, at the end of the day, that's why I get excited about an Ortega beating a Frankie. It's not about, I want Frankie to lose. I love the idea of just the evolution of the game. You know what I mean? And that's incredibly fun to watch. And it just means that we're in a thing that's incredibly fluid. And you guys are all like, there's nothing predetermined. Like, it's wide open. And I think that's what's so fun about it all, you know?
Sure. Anybody, any day.
Yep.
Looking forward, last question I want to ask is Dan Jensen is wondering, who do you think will win between Werdum and Volkov?
Werdum.
Likely you would think Werdum, being that
Who are you asking? You understand that Werdum is like one of our best buds here.
Okay, we're gonna divide
like the day I pick against Werdum.
And I don't want to pick against Werdum because I see him all the time at UFC now. And I don't
the day I pick against Werdum is the day that I just...
Our friend, keeping it real with Kenny Johnson, will be cornering...
Yeah, where's Kenny? Kenny's in Russia right now, right?
For like 3 weeks. And
he hasn't been keeping it real with us at all.
And then he goes back, then he goes to London to corner Volkov, whatever I say his name. Yeah, Kenny corners him.
Volkov?
Yeah.
Not Werdum?
No, that's what's interesting because Kenny has worked with Werdum in the past, and Kenny and the guys over at Kings he used to work with a lot of those guys, but now that they kind of Kings and Black House kind of separated, they kind of went their own ways. Kenny has a big seminar following.
He's big in Russia.
Fighter following in Russia.
He's big in Russia
for 2 or 3 weeks now.
He's like doing Rocky IV.
He is. No, Kenny's big in Russia.
So he's over there training Volkov. I'm saying his name right. Volkov.
Alexander Volkov.
He's over there training with
I don't know
Volkov
how I feel about this.
right now. So Kenny comes back to the States for a couple of days and then heads back to London to corner against his old friend Werdum and Master H.E.A.T. So it'll be a little interesting. Him and Cordell against in opposite sides of the octagon. But I would have to say that Werdum would have the advantage there. Werdum's the former champ.
Team Werdum over here.
She's
always and ever.
Werdum, if you're watching this, man, when we see each other at the Fight Pass at UFC now, don't hit me with a boomerang, dog. I ain't picking sides. I'm just saying. Kenny got to do his job. But wrestling got to make his money. He got to go with his brothers from Russia. Do the damn thing y'all put on a war over in London.
Always and forever.
I'm playing it safe.
That's how I feel about Werdum.
I ain't trying to get a Kobe
together with you. Take time to tell me. I don't even know the words.
Interests.
You really care. It is on Fight Pass.
Fight Pass.
We support Werdum.
You see what you're
for always. No, we love us some Fabricio Werdum. No, here's the thing. Werdum is, all kidding aside, we love us some Kenny Johnson too. Werdum is...
But Kenny Johnson ain't fighting. Kenny Johnson.
No, Kenny's not fighting. But honestly, that's the thing that we see so much now, right? Is these old school, new school fights, right? And kidding aside, Fabricio has always been really great to us. He's just been one of those people that's not only always been very accessible to us, but with me learning my Portuguese and stuff, like Fabricio's always just been really helpful and all that. So we have a real bond with Fabricio. I just love the guy. I adore him. He's hilarious. Just a really, really good people. He's a
little crazy too.
Yeah, totally. I don't know if you know this. All of you fighters are crazy.
I guess we are.
By definition.
I feel like I'm pretty normal compared to a lot of guys. I mean,
the fact that you do this for a living.
I got a crazy side.
Like, no, but people always ask me to like.
Of my life, I'm normal.
Right. You are a little slightly more normal than some of the others. But anyway.
A little bit of road rage.
But for Doom, I feel like, the last thing I was like, he's seen a lot more. He has the experience. I feel like Fabricio is ready, and we'll probably actually try to go catch up with him at Cabrinhas or something.
I mean, you know what? Kenny Johnson bull wrestling could be a decisive factor in this fight because if I'm Werdum, I'm looking to get in close, clinch this guy up, and get him to the mat where I have a decisive advantage. Kenny Johnson's bull wrestling, which he specializes in
stuffing
stuff off the cage, will be, I think, a part of the fight.
I think it's going to be entertaining.
It's going to be something in the fight that we see a lot of.
For sure. What's
up? One more question. Speaking of heavyweights, Black Beast versus Ngannou. Do you think it'll happen? And what are your thoughts?
I'm down to watch it. I don't know what's in the works right now.
I would watch it. I think Ngannou would be.
Does Black Beast really want that fight, or is he saying that? I don't know.
I think Ngannou would knock him.
That's the thing. I think Ngannou's too athletic for him. I'm a fan of the Black Beast, but he's shown his weaknesses. He's shown his cardio. He's shown his body has a softness right there. Ngannou is just a guy that has the hole in the wrestling and grappling game. But other than that, I think he'd be able to kind of piece up the Black Beast. So I don't know if there's a fight that Black Beast is lobbying for, unless he's just trying to get a big name fight. But I don't think that's one that's great for him stylistically for building momentum at all.
And I agree with you, and I agree. I also think that after that fight with Stipe, the Black Beast recognizes the hole in his endurance game, the hole in his cardio game, and can fix that. But like I said, yeah, I agree with you. The Black Beast is not known for his endurance either. No. I feel like Ngannou would land the knockout.
I think so too.
As much as I like the Black Beast. That's it? Okay. Okay,
we out of champagne, basically.
We're out of champagne, so the show is over. Listen, March is kind of light this month. There's not as many fights. Yeah. But we will still, of course, bring you the podcast. But, yeah, so just to wrap up life after your victory, some new opportunities have opened up for you in terms of some sponsors and things, whatever. But, like, this is, like you said, 2017 was a year that you didn't have as much positive momentum as you hoped to. So what are your hopes and goals for 2018 here?
Yeah, 2018. I wrote it down. 4 fights, 4 wins, 2 bonuses, 1 main event. That is still my goal, even though my foot may change that a little bit because I'm going to have a slight layoff now with the broken foot. I'm still shooting for that. I'm opportunistic about 2018. I'm just going to keep the same mentality rolling in and fight. July, International Fight Week. I'm going to get my dates, my sights set on that date. And then, like I said, Hawaii, New York, we'll see what happens. And
I have to say, yeah, it really was, you know, obviously Wade and I have a lot of 100% belief in you. But we also knew that Ben was dangerous. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like we sat here going, easy win. You know what I mean? Like we knew that Ben was incredibly dangerous and offered a lot of ways to win himself. So we're just really psyched that, like, everything that you wanted to implement, it seemed like you were able to, and that the whole night just seemed to turn out to be, from top to bottom, like, that seemed like everything just went your way. So it was really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. Not only did he need a win, but a big win.
Yeah.
Bonus wouldn't hurt to get it all. It felt good. It makes a broken foot not so bad.
Nice. But he's tricking out his truck.
Yeah.
If you guys follow him on social media, like, his truck with that 50 Gs is getting tricked out.
I'm out of the hole, baby. I'm back above ground again with the truck. I can't wait, man.
Nice.
4 weeks. In about 4 weeks to get to show you guys my truck, and it's gonna be beautiful.
I can't wait, Wade. We're slipping on the 57 Chevy, yo. Gotta fix that up. Okay. On social media, you can find me at Karyn Bryant on Twitter and YouTube, KB Heat on Instagram, and MMA Heat, obviously, on Facebook, and MMAHeat.com to find all of our other stuff.
Cool. And I am Alan Jouban across the board with everything, guys. Check it all out.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Hope it was a good one, guys. I know we entertained you. My potty break and everything. And
I need to go,
Karyn
too.
About MTV. Did you tell them about MTV?
I used to be an MTV.
You talked about it?
I did.
When I was gone?
A little, maybe not, like a tiny bit.
A little story? Okay. There you go. Now you know a little more about us. Peace, guys.
Bye.